back to 1010 Podcast with Michael and Adam and Robbie and Adam Jabaay. He's basically on this show anyway. How many times has he been on here now?
Is he or Hayward the most reoccurring guest?
No, I think Hayward and James are tied.
I've been on. This is my third time, I think.
Is this your third or your fourth?
This is third.
Is it?
This is third.
Is that it?
I think so.
Oh, I thought it was fourth, but you're probably right.
I think the first one was when Austin and I recorded like a collab show.
Yeah,
with
that's
you.
four then.
Yeah,
that's four.
we did a show together, and then I think you've been on here without Austin 3 times.
I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway, so we were talking about
I listen to your show more than my show for sure. I don't like the sound of my voice one bit.
I listen to your show more than my show.
I don't listen to either show.
I listen to your show more than ours.
Mike.
I will give you that.
Thanks for the support, Michael.
I listen to it now that Abe's on it. Is that better?
Unbelievable.
He's better. He's better than you.
Yeah.
And I fixed all your audio issues.
Yeah, you did help Abe a little bit. Although we got a couple people yelling at us about the last couple episodes because the intro music was too loud, and I'm like, man, I don't even care about this at all.
He can send me the audio file. I'll look at it. I don't care.
I don't care about the speaker quality of your Chevy 1500 from 1998 at all.
That's true. The only people that listen to our podcast are listening to it in their total shit track tower, like track day car tower, and it's got the worst
work van.
It's got
some
work
van.
Sony Explode speakers from 1997.
You gotta say it right. Say it right. XPlug, dude.
XPlug. No, it had the line above the O. Didn't it?
Yeah,
it did. You did audio stuff.
I don't think so.
I guess I never.
He
put
would
those,
never have bought Explode.
Yeah,
no, I know.
You couldn't have paid me to use that shit.
If it was now, it'd be like memes. There'd be memes of Explode stuff.
Oh, for sure. I'm surprised there isn't.
Did you know those still exist? I think they still exist.
Do they?
I'm pretty sure.
The last week I've been working on this big commercial job site, and there's this drywall crew in there, and like the main dude on the drywall crew is probably 25. And he's got a boombox that he's got his phone plugged into, and all he listens to is like System of a Down Pandora.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, it's so bad. And then a Sony XPlug is the brand of the stereo. So
hell yeah.
I think they still exist.
I figured you were going to tell us it was
oh
Polka
my God,
music.
Robbie, what the fuck is that?
It's a boombox.
That's an Explode boombox.
And see, it's got the line across the O.
I didn't know they were making the boombox. Haha.
I think it's more fun to say XPlug.
XPlug's better. Do you know who has an XPlug system in their car now?
Who's that?
Moog.
Oh, Jesus.
Who's Moog?
Mighty Car Mods.
Mighty Car Mods.
That most recent car that he bought has XPlug subs in the back.
Jesus Christ.
Man, XPlug bring me right back to high school. All my friends with their like 94 Grand Prix.
I had some fucking XPlug speakers when I was young. 14. I have to admit that when my college roommate, I was 17, he was 18, when he pulled up in his white Pontiac Grand Prix and he had an XPlug head unit and XPlug speakers, and then the icing on the cake was that all the lights in the car, he had pulled all the 194 bulbs out. Yes, he had.
He had put red ones in.
Yes, he had. Everybody did that. Everybody
I was
fucking
like, dude,
did that.
Josh Blocker, you are the king of town. This is amazing.
That was scene points when you're
I don't
16.
know if you could do it with the Grand Prix, but I know you could do it with the Cavalier and the Sunfire. You could pull the knobs off of the HVAC unit, and you could peel the plastic off or the rubber coating off of it so that it was transparent, and then the light would shine from behind it. Then the whole thing could have been red.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Anybody who gets on the group this week and says, that's fucking dumb, I didn't do that. Bullshit,
Liar.
You didn't. You did not.
Liars.
Liar. Everybody did it when they were 16. Every single person did.
I had Explod. I
Had some
had the flip down one. So then you would have just a screen, and then you could push the button, then it would flip down, and then you could push the
Oh, I think the head unit in the Camaro's an Explod.
Really?
I think it is.
I bet it is.
I think it is. So it had the screen. Did yours have the flip
It's an
down?
8-track.
Yeah.
It's an 8-track XPlug and a 78
Fuck
Camaro.
yeah.
That would be sweet. Are you kidding
I'd buy
me?
that right
That
now.
would be awesome.
Somebody could, if they would make that. Sony, if you're listening.
Yeah. It's probably a pretty good product advice, actually. It's super hipster now.
Are
Combines
8-tracks
like
coming
3
back? Because
generations.
vinyls are not cool anymore because they're cool. So the hipsters probably do want 8-tracks now, don't they?
I'll never find it.
Yeah. But yours was the digital display one.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't even.
Mine just flipped forward to put CDs in it. I didn't have that.
No,
I just remember the
flip
Explodes having a really big knob, and it was like 1 inch further to the right than it should have been, and it seemed weird.
So you missed it.
It's not
And
centered.
like, No, like it seemed like asymmetrical or like wrong for stereos, and I remember that was the only thing I didn't like about the XPlug Stereo.
Yeah, you're right. That one's kind of
off center.
Yeah, the one that Robbie pulled up. Yeah,
I'm talking like circa like 1999.
Yes,
that was my XPlug generation.
How old was I?
99, you'd be 10.
I was 12.
Back when Best Buy was relevant, that was the jam, dude.
That might have been where I bought my XPlug stuff. Was Best Buy.
Yeah, and you picked up your Creed CD too at the same time.
Oh fuck yes, yes you did.
No, it was Ying Yang Twins
with arms wide open, maybe.
Oh god,
yeah, man, dude, it's so good.
I need to go back and listen to that whole album because it's like really bad, but they're really
is
committed.
It though?
They're really committed to how bad it is. So like,
dude, in 1999, that was like, I mean, that thing was like pretty much on repeat in my 91 Aerostar minivan.
Literally everybody.
Oh, you had an Aerostar?
Everybody.
I did, dude, with a 4-liter with the tow package.
Hell
did
yes.
Burnouts. Did big old freaking Smokies.
This is going to piss some people off too, but if anybody gets on the group and says that they didn't listen to Creed in 1999, I don't believe you.
No, everybody listened to that.
Everybody's like, yeah, that cool story, bro.
It's still better than Imagine Dragons, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, is that that is the van, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a full.
We got
an
an Aerostar van here. That's the van. When we went on that road trip thing, and we were looking at that route for whatever we were looking at it for, like 3 years ago, that dude that completely destroyed that
blew
Casey's
that bathroom up, and then just walked out the door. Didn't even buy anything.
And he got an Aerostar.
Yeah. So that's when somebody says Aerostar, all I can think about is some dude in the middle of nowhere, small town Iowa, just completely shitting himself to death in a bathroom and then just leaving.
Yeah, man. Yeah, heroin probably gives you the runs, dude.
How rude. No, hey, watch yourself, young man.
What did you say?
He had one bad experience that I don't even think was Casey's related.
Got violently sick.
And now
the pizza. No, I remember. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
That was probably more to do with the evening before his drinking. It was probably more to do with
I think the pizza may have exacerbated the issue.
It was like 25 minutes later and it got bubbly guts and it was
No, that was the pizza, dude. That
no
was the
way.
pizza. Yes,
no
it was.
Way.
I was feeling 100%, like no problems. And then I got me some breakfast pizza. And it was like, I was like, man, Adam says these are really good. So maybe this Adam needs to have some. And so I bought a breakfast pizza. And then it was like, wow, this is delicious.
It's so
good. And I
good.
got the phone out to text Adam and I was like, boom, bro. And then it was rushing to the customer's house. Luckily, this customer had a bathroom in their garage. They had a big, it's a detached garage, and he's got a Hellcat in there and a Spec Miata. And it turns out he listens to Slip Angle, which is cool. Slip Angle podcast, powered by Moto IQ as of today, by the way. He had a bathroom in the garage, so I didn't have to punish the house bathroom there. But,
that's violation of rule number 1 for me. You never use somebody else's bathroom.
Well, this guy wasn't home, and I've worked for him for years.
Okay.
I don't know where he found my podcast from, but
did he know it was you? Did he put all that stuff together and get there? Or?
Well, if Willie's listening, he knows.
Yeah, he's like 15 episodes. He's like, wait a second,
that guy sounds the same. Adam Jabaay.
I don't know. He's more of a buddy of my dad's because they're like gun buddies. They like talk about reloading and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that.
He's one of those types, but he lives out in the sticks, and there's a Casey's in between here and there, and it's got good breakfast pizza. I can't say that I haven't bought it since.
Did you have the bacon or the sausage?
I don't know. It's all just covered in cheese and delicious.
Oh, it's so good. God, I love it so much,
dude. It's so good, and it makes me angry. And like,
just try it one more time.
I'm gonna have to have a slice on my
last week, and I was like, gosh, this is so good.
Just try it one more time.
Get a Water Joe next time too.
What's a Water Joe?
The caffeinated water. You can buy that at Casey's. Dustin Dixon did it when he was coming through Iowa. He like purposely stopped at a Casey's to buy a Water Joe.
I have never heard of Water Joe. That sounds good.
I thought you listened to the podcast.
Come on,
we
man.
talk about Water Joe all the time. Well, we used to.
We haven't talked about him since they
that
turned
might have
us
been like
down on a
100 episodes
sponsorship.
ago.
It's probably about
It didn't
right.
entirely turn us down.
I'm really more into LaCroix right now, and you can make fun of me for
that
it.
a boy. I got one right here.
Man, I don't know. That pamplemousse though.
What?
Yeah, LaCroix's pretty good, man. I don't know. I almost quit drinking because LaCroix was satisfying most of my
No, you didn't.
most of my needs, my oral fixations.
I saw one in the grocery store called Hint, and I was like,
hint of lime.
That makes sense. That finally they have at least like embraced,
acknowledged it.
The crap.
There's that I don't know what's called Bubble or something like that now.
Yeah, Bubbly?
I don't know if that's is it Bubbly?
It's Bubbly. Yeah, one of my coworkers drinks.
Oh yeah, Buble.
Oh, if it's called Buble, then I'm in.
Yeah, if it can be whatever you want it to be.
If you open it up and it hums a few sweet jazz tones to you, I'll drink that shit all day long.
Mm. Yeah,
well, they're really missing out on a marketing opportunity there, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So the thing that I don't get about these waters, since we're on water talk now,
sure,
you're on the water podcast.
The
number 2 water podcast.
You are probably the number 2 water podcast.
We probably are. There's somebody that's devoted their life to tasting water because there are water sommeliers.
There are, yeah.
And so somebody's got a podcast.
Your mom's house podcast with the water champ Christina Pazinski. Which is the greatest podcast I've ever heard in my opinion. Your mom's house is the jam. The bubbly water gives me heartburn, but says there's like it's natural sweeteners and there's no calories and no anything. But why does it give me heartburn? I think there's something bad in there.
There might be a lot of acid in it.
I don't know.
It might be acidic.
Does,
if it's natural flavored, it could be really acidic.
I've been kind of on a Perrier kick with. There's a strawberry Perrier that's pretty rare.
What has happened to you?
Oh, here, let's just
so good.
Let's blow it out of the water right now. You started collecting vintage watches. I mean, you're just.
Yeah, what are you wearing for a watch right now?
I thought we were.
What's your wristwatch?
Actually, right now I have a Fitbit. I have a Fitbit on right now, but my mechanical hand wind watches are in the bathroom at the moment. So. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you mad that
Stop
Adam
looking
Jabaay is
so
becoming
proud?
more mean
Don't
than
look
you?
so proud about this, Michael.
He's just
Jesus Christ.
I'll bring you some different waters at the next Grid Life.
So I discovered watches like a while back because I was at my wife's grandma's house before she passed away, and I was like, wow, that's a cool watch. This is like in a junk drawer, like looking for a permanent marker or something, like 10 years ago. And she was like, "Oh, you can have that. It doesn't work." And so I brought it to my. It was her husband's watch before he passed away, my wife's grandfather. And it was just like it's like kind of a nothing watch, but it's mechanical, and I thought that was cool. There's no batteries, and so I brought it to a local jeweler and had it restored. And then I bought a matching one with a different band, so that like in case, so I could just wear it to like the track. But I freaking dig watches that you wind with your fingers. I think that's so cool.
He gets it. He gets it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I don't know. I'm not going to spend $5,000 on a Rolex like Moneybags over there.
How dare you? How dare you?
Well, how much did you spend? Come on, let's be honest here. You got like a drift car on your wrist, man. That's too much.
We went so long without ever admitting.
I almost made it.
We went months.
Yes,
and we never mentioned.
Yes. So happy.
I bought a Rolex. Fuck everyone. I'm wearing it right now.
We never mentioned.
Fuck everybody.
Once.
Here it is.
So my buddy, who is a super conservative, like money wise, it's not maybe not political wise, but like he's really like he's a penny pincher. He and I have worked on old Hondas forever, and he bought a 996 twin turbo Porsche a while back because he's like, man, these things are bottomed out like in value. I'm going to buy one of these. This is a really good place to put my 401k.
That's literally money. They're literally words that have come out of my mouth. So continue.
Yeah, and this is like 4 years ago. Like when he paid like $28,000 or something crazy for it.
It's no money.
And then like right afterwards, he bought a Rolex. I was like, man, what is going on with Dave? This is insane. And he's like, dude, these things are good places to put money too. And like, it's way more fun than like a bank account. And you know what? It's totally right.
Stainless steel Rolexes are a great place to put money. Kiss my ass.
It's like always worth what you pay for it.
Makes me so happy.
I'm not in that game. That game's a little too crazy.
Don't get in this game. Anybody that's listening, don't get in this game.
Or
it's a trap. Like there's like I'm on waiting lists for stuff and like it's so stupid. Don't even do it. Don't do it. Just don't even be there.
No wonder you don't talk about drift cars anymore. You're all tied up on wristwatches.
Yeah, it's not wrong. Hey, I got my engine back though.
Yeah, are you fully building that thing, or is it just like a good refresh?
It's slightly spiraled out of control, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm trying not to overbuild it though, because that's what everybody always does is over. Yeah.
Are you doing rods and pistons, or just big rockers?
Yeah,
and like
did that. No, I've got the heads with the big rockers. Those are at the machine shop now, and he's testing them. He's going to test the springs and then send them back to me. And then I was like, well, if they're off, I might as well port and polish them. And then but I will not. I refuse to change the cam. I refuse to change the cam because the cam in this motor, the new one, is actually bigger than the one in the other motor. And I had the extended rockers at the 1.6 rockers. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to change the cam.
Have you done the math? You still have your piston to valve clearance with the bigger cam and the different rockers?
Oh, this would be like taking a stock F-body Camaro and putting the longer, the 1.6 rockers on it. So
you're still safe then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It'd be the same compression ratio. And those heads have maybe been decked, but not enough for it to matter.
Okay.
Are you doing rods or anything, or are those things pretty strong already?
The rods that came in those are okay for what I'm doing. But again, I'm trying not to be that guy because that car was plenty. In my opinion, that car is too fast for someone with less than 3 years of drifting experience. And
the too fast thing, like that's when you start saying your car is too fast, and then you're like, oh, this is too much. Like, I think that's finally that's like the bell. You've reached like the bottom of the bell curve or the top of the bell curve, or what do you want to say? Man, I spent so many years trying to get there, and I never knew I'd get there. And then all of a sudden, I'm building a 150 horsepower car instead of the too fast place is a good place to be. You're probably the best place.
I just want to. My thing is when I'm drifting, I kind of just want to be really super aggressive, and it seems like the higher output cars, at least when you don't have that experience, don't respond as well to that because they'll just spin you around.
Oh, power brake stuff too, and wrenching. Even if you got a track dad, wrenching is not as fun as driving.
No, right, exactly. Like I would have definitely been. This is the one time I will say this. I would have been better off with a Miata than doing this, but I had this, so I just finished it. So
you also bought this when you thought drifting was dumb.
I did,
and then Jabaay ruined that for you.
Yeah, actually, this is your fault.
Dude, everybody says these things are my fault, and
I have like 3 Rolexes.
How do you even sleep at night?
I
You've
sleep
ruined
pretty well,
so many people's lives.
Because I work 2 jobs and I'm super stressed out and winter blows. I was in the shower after work, like just warming up because I was so cold all day, because my life is stupid and broken. And I was thinking, man, I could do I could do a pretty good monologue on 10 tenths tonight about how winter is terrible and it makes me depressed. And now I'm like all happy again because I'm talking to 10 tenths guys. So I was like super depressed in the shower and I had this like really good rant. And now I forgot all of it.
That's what we do. We bring people up.
We try to bring
even
people
with our depressing podcasts. We bring people up.
It was pretty dark a few weeks ago, man. That was a bad Monday.
Everybody loved it.
Multiple people are like, "This is the best show you've done in months."
People were like posting it. They were putting it on their Instagram stories and stuff. Like people that don't do that normally, and they're like, "This is great." I'm like, "That episode was messed up."
On the drive home, I'm like,
I talked about some fucked up shit.
Yeah, on the drive home, I'm like, that's the worst episode we've ever done.
No, people loved it. It was the worst. Great. People were dying.
This should have been a fun one talking about a new car. Worst episode ever.
No, I get that too. Like we record a show, or I recorded a show with Ross Bentley that's coming out on his podcast tomorrow or Friday or whenever he airs, and I don't even remember what we talked about, but I don't remember like coming away feeling like, wow, that was great. But it'll probably be fine. Like it's usually when you don't remember it being awesome, it was probably fine.
Yeah, it's never as bad as I think it is.
Yeah, no, it never is. I mean, people always somehow keep listening, but
that is the crazy thing about it.
Well, yeah, I don't know what happens to the group on Mondays. They just go a little nuts, and it's not even related to the show most of the time. They just go fucking crazy on Monday.
Yeah, well, Monday they just need something to do that's not Monday.
They've had whatever they did all weekend, then they're back at work on Monday. It's like, okay, I need to latch on to my friends.
I literally went back and counted this week's posts on Monday. It was 20.
You don't have to count those. They give you the analytics for it as an admin,
When I pulled it up, it only gives me 7 day. It doesn't give me. It gives me 7 and 30 day. It doesn't give me like the day.
Oh, okay.
Last Monday, I flew in from Los Angeles on the red eye, and I downloaded the show before I got on the plane, and I was able to sleep on the plane, which is something I don't normally do because my knees are usually in the seat in front of me, But Abe and I had exit row, and so it was time to sleep.
High class.
I got off the plane and I was like, oh, I got to post this picture to 10 Tenths group. And then I was like, shit, I didn't even take that picture. I only thought about it. And it was, we were at Streets of Willow last weekend, and for a Grid Life, I think we called it Streets Special or whatever.
Yes,
but
that's what you called it.
That was a somebody in marketing picked that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not my department, man. My department is like the don't let people get killed department, which that track is pretty sketchy, and like the corner workers put themselves in bad places. But I don't want to talk about that. But Mike Donnelly in that red RX-8, he's a listener of yours, and he had a 10 Tenths podcast shirt on. Yeah. And I was like, damn. In the driver's meeting, I think I was like, I gotta take a picture of that. And then I got off the airplane like 12 hours later, and I was like, I got to post that picture.
That's all right.
I was like, shit, I didn't take that picture.
We're looking at Mike Donnelly on Speed Hunters right now.
Yeah,
he was sporting your wares the other day, man.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Have you seen your Speed Hunters article? Your most recent?
No, I have not.
There's multiple pictures of Mike and his RX-8 in there. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you should have given him some more 10 Tenths stickers, because I didn't see any on his car.
I about called him out for it. I was noticed that there's not enough 10 Tenths.
I don't know if we've ever sent him one.
His car was pretty rad. Yeah, I love the air dam on that thing. It's pretty
he
rad
got a
little car.
shirt from us at some point, maybe a Vibrant shirt, and it took me way too long to ship them, so I sent a bunch of stickers.
Yeah, he should have had some. Mike.
I didn't see him. They might have been there. It was a really busy day. It's hard running like an entire event in a 1-day format like that, which is something we don't normally do. Because you got to do all the busy work in the morning, and then you don't get like any breather time because you're done at 5. Usually we're like, you get the breather time the night in the middle, and then there's like 2 or 3 or 4 days or whatever we do now. But 1-day events are bangers, man. It's busy.
Well, it's also really nice that you were so familiar with the facilities and whatnot, because you've been there so many times.
I did get the day before. Austin, who co-host of Slip Angle podcast,
brought to you by.
You should.
Powered
by Moto
Thank
IQ.
you.
My group chat with the Slip Angle dudes is like buzzing right now because of all the Moto IQ stuff. But my phone keeps going boop, boop, if you hear that on the call on this, that's what that is. But Austin was running an event there the day before, which happened to work out pretty well because him and his wife were our timing team for the Grid Life event, because we didn't want to ship the timing team out either. But so I got to see the event, or see the track a little bit the day before, which is pretty cool. It's a cool facility. Willow Springs is rad. There's 3 tracks, and then there's an oval track also in the same facility. It's this huge like side of a mountain in the high desert in California. But it's old, and like I think it's the oldest continuously running road course in America. 1953, I think, is when it said it was. On their sign, it says the oldest, course in America or whatever. But I don't know if that's totally true, but it's true in California. But Big Willow Springs is rad. PCA, Porsche Club of America, on brand for Michael.
Yes, I'm listening.
They were running there the same time as us, and basically the paddock for Streets of Willow runs along, like it's along the side of the big straightaway, which got a kink in it and stuff, and the cars around the kink, which is kind of it's a gradual right-hander. They're going about like 120 to 150, and then their exhaust pipes are aimed right at the paddock for Streets of Willow, and so it was pretty cool, like glorious day noise-wise, with the PCA cars kind of aiming at us at like 100 some miles an hour. But I want to rent that whole facility out and do a full Grid Life event on all 3 tracks at the same time, which would be luxurious from a track time perspective. But man, I'd need like 3 of everybody.
You'd be so stressed.
Wait, you need 3 more people?
How many?
I need a few more motorsports
3.
directors.
I think there's 3 more here.
There's 3 people here, and you need 3 people.
So they got this Horse Thief Mile, which is like higher up on the mountain.
I've heard that's like where
drifters
that's where the way into that course.
It's me.
The whole place is you can see it from Streets of Willow. The whole place is like covered in tire tracks. The Horse Thief Mile. I guess it's kind of sketchy. Right?
It's like a downhill thing, and you're drifting with downhill. That. Yeah, and I guess
it's like there's a jump in there too.
I think so. Yes.
It looks really cool. So you could run drift up there, and you can run Big Willow, and you can run Streets of Willow, and you could like alternate between Time Attack, HPD, whatever. It'd be so many tracks at the same time. And the place is like, it's kind of like like picture a desert junkyard, like full of trucks and cars and stuff. And then like put a track in the middle of it. That's kind of what it is. There's like old fire engines like laying next to it. And it's a really weird, rad place. And like, it's reasonable cost to rent and stuff, but I don't know. I kind of fell in love with the facility. I want to do more events there.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. We had a good time.
You talking about drift cars jumping? Maybe have you seen those the crazy Japanese guys that like
got a bisu?
Yes.
Will actually like jump and go into a corner backwards?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's absolutely insanity. Yes. That's just what that made me think of. Makes me excited.
It makes me feel less talented because I couldn't do that.
You just haven't tried it enough. You'll be fine.
I need to build a drift car, but
don't you have a V8 swap something?
I'm giving up on like projects for a while. I got to finish the hatchback build and then race some Grid Life Touring Cup and then call it good for a few years. I'm burning myself out like at a rapid rate, like really, really, really hard.
I believe that.
And yeah, I got to finish this car. It's the only car I own now. And I got to finish it, and I got to drive it, and I have to enjoy myself for a few years, I think. But
it makes me sad that you had to sell the Fraser. I understand why you did it. I get it.
There's no time and no space and like no money, and it's
who bought it? Do we know who bought it?
It's in Texas.
It's a dude in Austin, Texas. He listens to Slip Angle sometimes, and he does autocross stuff, and he's on the forum that shall not be named.
That's fine.
Yeah, and he took it all apart right away. He's been into super bikes too, so he kind of knows motorcycles more than I did. He's got an LS Swap 240.
Yeah, I love this guy.
He's good people.
Yeah, and he's like real DIY too. Like he's like, yeah, I just made this intake manifold and I zap these mounts together myself, and like check out this truck transmission I like made an adapter for. You know,
does he need a friend? I'll be his friend.
No, he probably works by himself.
Texas, dude. Texas looks rad.
We could talk to each other via text once
by
a
yourself,
week.
doing stuff.
We could be best friends.
Putting this 900-pound T56 in by myself.
Yeah, man.
What are you doing?
Did you see someone said there, like it was a meme, it goes, some of you have never bench pressed a transmission up into a tunnel by yourself, and it shows. I'm like, that's all of you.
That's only insane people do that.
Dude, there's way heavier. My truck transmission is cast iron, and I put that shit in myself the other day. And that sucked. It was so heavy. And I used a floor jack, and I still got the last little like push, you know?
Ugh.
Yep.
The thing weighs 380 pounds or something crazy. Yeah, T56 can suck these nuts, man.
They don't weigh anything. The SR20s was heavier.
Yeah, so the dude took apart the R1 motor in the Fraser, and he said that it was the pistons hitting the head. That was the noise that it was making.
Ooh, not good.
How does that happen?
I probably didn't. I didn't tell many people this, but I took it to the track, and dude, it was glorious. It was so good.
Yeah.
I took it to our Honda meet, our Honda meet event. Richard, my English buddy who lived in our basement this summer, he and I like thrashed on it to get it ready, and like pulling the clutch apart, fixing all the dumb things. It was like all kinds of little pain in the butt stuff to get ready. And we got it ready, and it was running, and it was sweet, and it was amazing. And shifting with a sequential is amazing. And I took it on track, and then like did a little, did a kind of a feeler session, and it felt so good, and it was so rad. And then the next session, an oil cooler line, I don't know how, but they're like compression lines. It threaded off and popped off. So I must not have had it torqued enough. I think it was because the line was like bouncing just a little bit, and then like untorqued it. And I probably hadn't, made it super tight. So it for a split second, it was running without oil pressure, and I killed it like immediately. Last session of the day on Friday of Honda meet, I oiled my own track down.
Damn it, Jabaay.
So
it had a full flat bottom except for the spot like right below the oil cooler line that came off. So like literally the line came off and like aimed right through a hole.
Through the hole. Yeah, of course it would. Of course it would. Why wouldn't it?
$300 in oil dry later. It was cleaned up, but luckily it was like the last 2 minutes of the last session of the day. But and then it was fine. Like I fixed it and put new oil in it, and it had good oil pressure, and I did a few more sessions, and then I came in off the track, and the car was hot and it was running good, and then I started it back up like to go out for the last session of the weekend on Sunday, and then it like at idle it was fine, and then I revved it and it had like a like a non RPM dependent kind of knock, and he thinks it was just the rod bearings start to wear out just a little bit, and the piston to cylinder head clearances are so tight that if you get like 10 thousandths extra, like they start to just tap, and it doesn't sound like a bang bang bang. It's like it sounded like something was like broken off and bouncing around in the transmission. That was like the noise. It was a weird noise, but yeah, and it should all be reusable. He said he just can put new rod bearings in it, so hopefully it's good for him. It's really more of an autocross car than a track day car, anyway. But
why do you say that?
Yeah, safety wise.
Oh, that's right. That was what you were most concerned about. I remember that now.
Yeah. Like it's really, really well built for what it is. And what it is like, it was built in 93, but it was built in New Zealand. It's like for anybody who doesn't know, it kind of looks like a spec racer Ford, like what James has, only it's not built as robustly. It's not built to like bang wheels on a racetrack. It's really a Lotus 7 with it's built out of 1-inch round tubing. And it's got like a bolt-on roll bar in the back.
Oh, just 1 inch? The whole thing's just 1 inch?
Yeah. 1-inch round tubing, and then it's got 1-inch square tubing like on the floor, just the floor, like kicking off of the main of it. And that's like the barge boards or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
To like be the bottom of the side pods is 1-inch square. But it's all chromoly and it's beautifully built, and but the roll cage is like 1 3/8 and small, and it's not something I'd want to collide with anything in. I wouldn't want to roll over in it. I wouldn't want to hit the wall. I wouldn't want to do any of that with it.
So you'd be doing a lot of disassembling and refabricating if you were going to build
you'd be like
you'd
be dying.
You start over. If you're going to try and fix it, you start over.
Yeah, if you're going to try and fix it, like good because you didn't die in it. I was like literally worried for my safety in the car. And it's fine at Gingerman because Gingerman you spin off and like usually you just.
Oh no!
Of course.
We lost him.
31.
Are you back?
31:59.
Yeah,
yep,
no,
go ahead. We got a little edit mark in there, but
I got a phone call. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, we tried to use my computer for Skype, but it wasn't working. But I'm on the phone. Yeah, it's not something I want to crash. So that was like, I don't do autocross stuff very much. So, what do I own this thing for? But
fair enough.
It was a good experience though. It's like one of them cars that like I'll never forget all the projects working on it, and like I learned a lot about superbike stuff, and it was rad. But now it's probably not the time for a project like that, especially with me developing a race series, basically centered around like what me and my friends do with race cars. I should probably finish my race car.
So let's talk about your race series.
Yeah, we're doing Grid Life Touring Cup. That's what it's going to be. We're doing it 4 events this year. We're doing the Mid Ohio Midwest Festival, Blackhawk Farms, our smaller event, which you guys should come to. That's like my favorite camping event and hangout event of the year.
Yeah, we should go.
Really should.
It falls on my girlfriend's birthday weekend every year.
Skip it.
We'll go.
And,
just bring her out, man. It's just a beautiful little track.
That's what I'm hoping to do, but it's not as easy as it sounds. We'll see.
Yeah, and then we're doing it at Road America too, so you can come there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about doing wheel to wheel at Grid Life. Something I've been working on since early 2015. We're finally doing it.
So what's kind of the basis of the rule set there? Because I know it's real short and sweet, which is awesome.
It's simple, simplicity, and kind of a little bit more open to the. Kind of not the time attack mindset, but like similar, like the tuner mindset. Like many other wheel to wheel classes have like pretty tight restrictions on aero and like engine mods and like stuff like that. Which the power to weight classes, it's not really a power to weight class, but it sort of is. The power to weight classes are a little bit appealing in some, but there's not that many of them in wheel to wheel. So we tried to look at a huge array of cars that run similar lap times in many different series. And if you look at like the records of so many classes, be it, the Space Agency or SCCA, like a lot of the cars run similar lap times, like within a second, Right. And we tried to like distill down like what are the popular cars there. in those groups. And then we looked at Chump and Lemons, and it's like, well, a lot of these cars, in the slower groups, they're within like, a pretty feasible, they could race together. And then we looked at Australian improved production, which if you haven't seen it, those videos are amazing. It's like everything from ancient RX-7s to like Holden V8, some shits to like AE86s and Honda Civics. And we tried to look at those rules and see what's cool about those. And then we kind of just built a more open rule set, but focusing on the things that we feel like make the speed, which is power, weight, and the ratio therein, and then tire size for the power to weight. We tried to balance. It's probably going to be a little bit of a moving target, but we're trying to balance the street tires versus R compounds versus kind of the middle of the road R compounds, which we're calling semi-slicks, because there's faster and slower R compounds that both look the same, like Hoosiers and Maxxis and stuff like that. But we're trying to balance a lot of different things, and then aero, but kind of let people build the car that they want to build within some semblance of the rule set. And then hopefully have a pretty fun wheel-to-wheel series. So you take your peak horsepower and you divide it by 0.08, and that's kind of your rough weight, your weight with driver. And then there's a tire calculator chart, which is basically, street tires can be a little bit wider than Hoosiers, and then the semi-slicks can be like right in between. And then it's a chart that kind of ratchets up per weight. So big heavy cars get like 275s, and tiny cars get 205s, and so that's what we built, and it got pretty well received. We launched it on Christmas Day, and the rule set, and we haven't made many changes. We made some errors and omissions kind of changes, but it's been largely the same since then. But people really liked the initial kind of the initial, like, I guess you'd call it the philosophy of the class. And we even had people buy in for the season. I think we have half a dozen cars buy for the season, and then my rules committee is all kind of committed to the season. So there's 10 cars right there, and then sales are going pretty strong. I think we'll probably have close to 30 cars at Midwest Festival and Mid Ohio. Those are the only two that are open right now. But
that's awesome.
So I'm in the group for it. You have a Facebook group going for it, and I'm in that group. And I remember, because I got in it pretty early on, and at first people are just posting there, for the most part, Hondas, because that was kind of your group of friends and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that's
Hondas and Miatas.
And you get a few, and then there was like some guys showed up with like a crazy Jetta or something, like a ton of aero on it, and it's like, man, if I put like a restrictor, like an air restrictor and a smaller turbo on there, like I could race this like that. It looked like a full-fledged time attack car.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it had the right cage in it.
He's been to our Road Atlanta festival, and his brother is like, him and his brother are MMA fighters. Yeah, they're interesting. They're interesting dudes, but they're like, it's full-fledged time attack stuff.
Right.
And like, all you gotta do is take a bunch of power away, and it could fit, And
then there's some guy that comes in there with like some V6 SN95 Mustang, and he's like, man, with just like a few small changes to this car, like me and a bunch of my friends who built these cars and don't really have a place to run with them because the class went away or something like that, like we could fit in this. And I'm like, Hondas and a arrowed out Jetta and a bunch of Miatas and Mustangs all on the track at once, racing wheel to wheel. This is gonna be awesome.
I'm hoping that we can find a pretty decent balance without getting too without like wrecking it. And there's a lot of ways you can wreck a wheel to wheel class in the eyes of the competitors. You can start making, if the rules are like a moving target and people are always having to make changes or add weight or whatever, that's never like fun. I think the guiding principle is going to be like, well, let's just go have a bunch of fun. And I don't want to do season championship because I don't like points racing that much. We tried to get away from that a little bit with Time Attack this year. We're doing more of a runoffs style championship with bracket battles. But the season points will seed the brackets for Time Attack. But we're trying to make every weekend kind of a individual championship style weekend. Mm-hmm. And so it'll be like half a dozen fun races, like shorter races where you don't burn the car down, you don't wreck all your brake pads, you don't super cycle the tires. Just, like we talked to a lot of our instructors and our wheel-to-wheel buddies, most of our instructors run wheel-to-wheel with us, or have ran wheel-to-wheel, and then they instruct with us. And like, just kind of felt out like, yeah, what would be the most fun race weekend? And kind of it kept coming back to like, yeah, just do a bunch of races instead of like one on Sunday and 2 on Saturday. Let's try to do like 6 shorter ones. Similar track time, but just like, and that fits better into our regular programming schedule with a Grid Life event, because we do 20-minute sessions for most things. But, yeah, the kind of the main goal though is to get this to festivals and on the live stream and show wheel to wheel to the kids who are watching trackside or on the live streams, because you don't see kind of attainable wheel to wheel anywhere anymore, unless you're like looking back and because you raced in it. It's not something that's in the, most people don't see that stuff. Like 19-year-old kids don't watch wheel to wheel besides maybe a little bit of IMSA sometimes, but not many.
Yeah, the most entry level you can find without like searching it out is PWC, and that's hardly chump change.
And it's and like, we've got like 3,000 to 6,000 kids trackside at festivals. Like if we put wheel to wheel in front of them, maybe that's good for wheel to wheel long term. Maybe it takes it and ratchets the age bracket down and makes it cool. Like in the last 5 years, the time attack mindset in the U.S. has came up a lot, and I think some of that's in part due to Grid Life stuff. So we have this like platform. So maybe we can bring maybe we can float the boat of wheel to wheel up with the younger crowd a little bit too. And that's good for SCCA. It's good for NASA. It's good for everybody, So, we don't want to shut anybody's sanctioning body down. We don't desire that they take their cars away from them or anything. We're throwing a few fun events to do fun things with our friends, and also to hopefully make wheel to wheel a cool thing in 40 years, 30 years, whenever we have time to do it,
Sure. And I'm going to name drop. I was talking to Hayward yesterday, and Hayward Wagner with the SCCA, and he said, we were talking about just, I guess, how some of these types of racing appeal to different groups. And I think the jump from doing autocross or just being one of those kids that aspires to do more stuff on track all the way to wheel is like a little bit of it. It's kind of hard for people to conceptualize.
It's daunting.
It's a little too much.
It feels like there's a big barrier to entry, even though there's really not. But it does feel like it's such a big step.
Yeah, but if they can kind of, leapfrog from, okay, I'm just going to take my car to an autocross and like, okay, that's cool. And so now I'm going to look at maybe doing some HPDE, and then I'm going to do some time attack. And then they can, but at that point too, they're kind of seasoned and they can go, I would like to do this type of wheel to wheel racing. Like, you know what I mean? They're not just like, I'm just going to go buy a Spec Miata and I'm going to do this. It's kind of like, that doesn't really fit what I want to do. Or like James, for instance, like he bought the Spec Racer Ford. I think you can make a more intelligent decision about what you want to do as far as wheel-to-wheel racing, and then run with it, whatever organization.
I think I was really attracted to. I've been a Honda guy forever, and so when I wanted to go wheel-to-wheel racing and sprint racing, I'd done some Lemons and stuff, and so I thought, well, what's a good spot for an old EF Honda? EF like 88 to 91 Honda. And SCCA Improved Touring A was ITA. That was I bought an ITA car, and that was like, it was a pretty cool class, and I raced that for a couple of years. And then Super Touring Light, STL, was a little bit more attractive because you could do engine swaps, which is kind of an unheard of thing in SCCA up until then, unless you go like ITE, just Improved Touring Experimental, which is like regional only, and like kind of a run what you're brung and nobody's in it. That was STL was attractive to me, but there's also a bunch of rules, and it's a popular class. It's a rad class, but there's a bunch of rules in there that kind of make it like you got to build a pretty expensive engine, especially as the class is finding its real pace. Racing is expensive, and power to weight racing can get expensive and weird too. And I'm sure we'll find plenty of hurdles in it, but a big part of the reason I wanted to bring some wheel to wheel was to show it to spectators. And then also because I don't have any time to race with anybody else. I love SCCA and I love Hayward and I love all my friends that I've made there. But I'm busy right now. So maybe I build my own wheel to wheel series. So,
fair enough.
That's part of it. But no, I had a lot of fun racing SCCA and I'll do it again for sure. I got to renew my membership before the 25th. Reminds me. Like
I screwed that up. I screwed that up last year.
Yep, I did.
If I'm honest,
the year before
didn't do that correctly. There wasn't anything on my calendar, and I just kind of didn't do it.
I don't want Hayward to be mad at me, so I'll definitely renew.
Yeah, he'll notice when your name comes across. Like, hey, wait a minute.
I want to get my 10 years in. But no, I think if we can pull it off, I think it'll just be good for wheel to wheel long term. And we've learned a lot from even conversations with SCCA over the past 6 months and stuff with Time Attack, and we've been kind of a growing relationship with them in the Time Attack and the North American Time Attack Council that we formed, and hopefully this class, if this class is successful, hopefully it's something that maybe can go other places too. So sure. I don't know where, but it could be a cool support series for something someday if it's good. But
yeah,
we'll see. We'll probably have our moments of issues, but I think it'll be fun. That's the goal. Fun is the goal. Fun with cars. I've heard that somewhere.
that was definitely the SCCA.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's their marketing.
Heard that a few times. I do love that philosophy that they've brought into the Time Trials Nationals stuff of trying to find a competition format for people who don't have a competition format, and trying to build a fun competition format. And those are that's the stuff that's what I want to build. I don't want to build like a super serious, like crazy, got to bring an $80,000 car class. And if it gets to that, like fast, like I'll just change the class, because that's not what I want. I want to build fun. Like a lot of the cars, that will probably be running with us are like mid-pack cars somewhere else, mid-budget, and they'll adjust their weight. They'll pick a new set of tires, and they'll probably have a pretty close, lap time with the leaders. I want to build a fun class. I want to build the class that is not the place to be, but the place I want to be. It might not be the cool kids class, but I think it'll be fun regardless. And I want to show wheel to wheel to a bunch of flat brim Subi vapor kids that haven't seen it. So
your events are full of them.
We do have a few of those guys.
You must appeal to them in some way, Adam. It's maybe your work boots. You are a fashionista.
Yeah, I think it's Jabaay that appeals
fashionista
to them,
might be
for sure.
The female version. I don't know what the male version is, but
trendsetter.
He's definitely a trendsetter. Fashionista is probably.
You did outline. You outlined all my amazing fashion choices at game night.
I need to find that, because it was a moment of like just pure inspiration for me, where I had it and it just kept coming out, and it was gorgeous.
Might be one of my favorite Facebook posts.
Was that on Track Midwest?
It's on Track. If you go to Track Midwest and search for me, it's probably the only post I've ever made on Track Midwest.
Yeah,
it started on the Facebook page, and then you did put on our Facebook group on the 1010s podcast one, and then you moved it to Track Midwest because it was just too good.
You said this should be on Track Midwest, and I said done. Just copy paste.
So you took a screenshot of the live stream of announcing that Austin and I were announcing the Forza tournament, and the Maximum Driftcast guys were announcing the drift tournament at Grid Life Game Night in Vegas at SEMA, and you made a pretty compelling argument that I was a trendsetter in fashion, but I think most of it was pretty harsh mockery.
Harsh mockery? How dare you?
It was set out of love.
How dare you? It was not. It was not harsh mockery.
No.
It was hilarious. Did you find it? He's gonna pull it up.
Pretty funny.
There it is. Look at that.
A couple paragraphs. So
it's quite a deal.
Do you want me to read it?
If you want to read
it. Was I wearing the red shirt there?
Oh, I screwed it up.
I don't know. Hold on a second.
I don't think
There's a red shirt. I wore a red shirt and I had a camo shirt on also, because it was kind of like stressful to be under the lights, so I might have had some sweaty armpits. But
yeah, so you had like a white undershirt with like a camo Grid Life shirt,
yes.
I think.
Yeah.
And then a blazer on top.
I found it. Here we go. So it's a picture of you in this camo Grid Life shirt, which is just
next to Jason Momoa.
Yeah, yes. Apparently. I don't know how you guys got him, but yes. Austin Cabot. Sorry.
Moto IQ.
Sorry. So I had this. It's a cited post, and I don't know if I'll read it.
If you comment on it, I'll bring it back to the top.
It probably will. Bump. Adam Jabaay. Adam Jabaay
go through it.
Cited at SEMA, affirming his title as the leading trendsetter in the automotive world. Steal his look with the following: Louis Vuitton sport coat in midnight noir. Simple yet elegant in this execution. Versace
it's a men's warehouse sport coat.
Your word against mine, and I think that I'm probably more of a fashion authority than you are. Versace men's eyeglasses in tortoiseshell, an adventurous vintage-inspired look that really seems to work well for him, but maybe too brash for a less confident man.
Plus, they are Marchione NYC downtown, and I paid $53 for them at my local optometrist.
Sure you did. I'm particularly proud of this one. Patek Philippe Calatrava 5127G wristwatch in white gold with period correct white gold bracelet. Would you expect Jabaay to wear anything but a vintage Patek?
What's that?
Actually,
is that
that's a vintage Carvel that my wife's grandfather passed on to me via a drawer of broken wristwatches.
Would that be a 6-figure watch then?
That's a vintage Patek 5127G is about a $30,000 watch.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not so bad.
I paid $57 to get a new face put on it and about $80 to clean it, and then I bought another one on eBay for $38. So
your word against mine. Last one here. Grid Life T-shirt. Always a bold statement wearing a T-shirt with a sport coat, but Jabaay really pulls it off here. In parentheses, are you surprised?
Yeah, you know how I pulled that off so well. Savannah Little gave me a hug in that, and she said, "Man, you look good."
See? I'm not wrong.
True story, not lying.
We believe you.
I told you.
But she's also my friend, so.
After seeing you in that coat, I understand.
Right. What was it? It was Versace or whatever it was? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'd hug you too. Oh, sure. She gets a hug.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to bring that up, man. Robbie, I do owe you a hug, but now I think we got a thing going. I don't think you're gonna get it.
Oh, I'm gonna take it.
Not this again.
Not in this. Robbie, it's 2019. You can't do that.
You can't just take hugs.
You can't me too me. Come on, man.
Oh, I'm gonna.
No, that's not okay. Do not endorse Robbie's actions.
I will force a hug on you.
Oh man,
it'll be. Just gonna ram that. You're gonna ram that.
Whoa! Words. Choose your words carefully.
I can't even say it.
Just don't say ram like that. Making me uncomfortable.
Only when we're talking about Dodge Rams. Come on.
The Dodge Ram. Dodge Ram's a nice. That's a nice pickup.
I'm gonna sneak up from behind and hug you.
I still think of the term phrasing all the time from like your first 5 podcasts. That was like the first time I ever heard phrasing.
People pick up shit from our first 5 podcasts and bring it up still. And I'm like, does anybody, why is it that you people know this? Are you going back there? What are you doing back there?
Because we keep encouraging them to go back there. That's our own
all the way back to
what
10.
I was doing the day I listened to your first 5 podcasts. I remember what I was doing that day.
It was a turning point in his life.
It was.
I don't know why I remember it so much, but Adam messaged me. He's like, "Hey, we're doing a podcast. You want to listen to it?" And I was like, "Oh, geez, not this again."
I messaged the Slip Angle page.
Yeah, and because this has happened a few times with podcasts that have came and gone, but obviously you guys are still doing podcasts, which is rad. But and now we're friends, which is something.
It's medium amounts of rad. It's not over the top rad.
You keep inviting us to your events.
I think we're between all of us. We're just trying to ruin each other's lives.
Yes.
I feel like I've successfully ruined my own lately. It's been real busy, and I'm struggling with burnout hard, and I'm trying to find the joy in this, in all of this, and then I keep having to go back to work every day, and cold. And then, so I listen to I'll listen to these motivational podcasts with these these fancy people from California who have glamorous lives and who have made better life choices and millions of dollars. And they're like, oh, you just got to be like positive. You just got to like, got to do this and you got to do that. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I got to do. And about 15 minutes into my day, I hit my hand with a hammer and I can't feel it because it's so fucking cold. And I'm like, man, freaking that Jesse Itzler guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. He owns the freaking Atlanta Hawks.
I'm gonna take a word.
I'm gonna drop something that I don't think anybody will ever say to anybody. Those people got fucking lucky. Like that's the part. Like there's nothing. Everybody talks about it. If you work hard and you stay positive and blah blah blah. Yes, to an extent, you can have a great life if you work hard and stay positive and all that stuff. Gary Vaynerchuk got fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Some of them get a little bit lucky, man. He's
the hardest working guy I've ever seen in my entire life. He also got fucking lucky.
Right.
It's not one or the other. It's both.
Right.
And I can't say that I don't have, I mean, literally, like, my life is pretty amazing. Like, if I look at my life in the eyes of, like, 19-year-old Adam Jabaay, like, holy shit, man. You got, like, a house. You got, like, you're building a race car of your dreams. You've built, like, this amazing series with your friends. Like, that's fun, and, like, people like it. And, like, wow, like, you know, it's fine. Everything's rad.
You got a sweet podcast?
Yeah.
Dude,
don't forget that.
Okay.
Abe has a sweet podcast. Oh,
you gonna be guests on sweet podcast?
Yeah,
like Ross Bentley's.
Life is rad. Life is cool. I got no complaints except for all those complaints that I have. But
everything's great except it also sucks.
Yeah, I'm really cold all the time. My day job is hard. I can't really quit it yet because if I do, my parents like don't have a retirement and blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Being a good son.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, no, I'm really thankful for all the years with Grid Life so far, and I think we'll have a few more. But
sure, absolutely.
It's been a wild winter. We haven't even had an off season yet, which is like this is like my first week of off season. And I think I get like 5 more before Mid-Ohio.
God,
it's coming
up fast.
That is fast.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, we got. I think we got 6 weeks, and I gotta finish this race car. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy 6 weeks.
I got some last prep I gotta get looking at.
Yeah, I'm apparently doing the Fiat engine too, so I gotta get that done. I just actually, while you were talking, because you were rambling about something, I wasn't paying attention. I signed up on the wait list for an HPD ticket for something. Do I need to be in the beginner group? I love this because he can't go anywhere, and I know he hates it when people ask him this. Do I need to be in the beginner or the intermediate group?
Was this 17 minutes ago?
Yeah, it probably was about 17 minutes. I have no idea what you were talking about.
Michael, I got your email. Yeah.
Do I need to? Is that the right group, or should I be in the intermediate group?
Countless autocrosses.
Yeah,
since 2009.
Yeah, I have. That's very true.
He can't even count it.
I'm not going to go back and count that shit.
Let's see what other kind of stuff. One HPD at Newton Speedway signed off for soloing with an instructor. Wow, impressive.
I think that sounds like intermediate.
You think I didn't have this email at my ready? Come on, man.
That's why I brought it up, because you could tell me or if I need to be in the other group.
He put me in intermediate. I think
he tried to put you in time attack and then advance, and you were like, "Bro, no."
That's true. I did dial it back a little bit. I was like, "No, I don't know."
I thought Robbie was all time attack guy because he'd been doing these time trial things, and he's like, "No, I don't want to drive at the safest track in the country in advance. I'm scared."
I was scared.
It was a little sketchy that day.
It turned out
sketchy day.
Monsoon.
The water was hard. I
made the right choice. I don't care what you say.
No, I would with the amount of driving you've done and drift day stuff, I would probably say, if you want instruction, beginner's rad, but you'll be a little, even in Fiat, you'll probably outrun some beginners right away.
Hell yeah. I don't know. Do whatever you want to with me.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a long wait list. You probably won't get a spot.
Nah, I just figured it was worth a shot. Oh, Midwest Festival.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you're actually going to try and bring your car to festival, huh?
I don't know. It's just he was talking and I got on the thing and there was a wait list and I signed up for it. That's what happened.
Oh, put me on the wait list too.
The wait list is really
I got enough
big
events.
Right now. It's a problem that I hate to have. Like, it's not a solvable problem, but there's like all this demand to drive at Midwest Festival, and it's just a hard thing to like. It gets harder every year too. We thought it would be easier this year than last year, but it's sold out even faster this year, which is
wow.
It's literally annoying. Like, I don't like having the problem.
You just need to do more than one Midwest Festival.
We talked about what if we did like a 3-day HPDE before and after to like satisfy, because we probably could. Like, because there's so many people that want to like drive at this track like this weekend. Like, what if we did like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then like a Monday, Tuesday, because we're there anyway, like cleaning up garbage and setting up garbage. Yep. So I don't know. We'll see. It's a stupid problem to have though. Like, it's a dumb little track event, but people like it. So.
I think
I don't
it's
know what
past
Chris Stewart created a monster.
Yeah.
I might sign up for some other stuff. I don't even know if my shit's going to be working. I was just on the website.
Autobahn. Autobahn, if it's not 105 degrees, it's a really fun.
Autobahn would be easier. I was looking out for.
Autobahn was a lot of fun. That was a good event. I enjoyed myself.
Looking out for our Adam, because if I brought the car, that means I'd have an enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
Then we could be inside.
That would be
when
nice.
It fucking rains again.
I slept in my van. It was fine.
Well, I meant at Midwest Festival.
Right.
It'd be nice to have a trailer, enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
So
the rain is usually a common theme at Grid Life events. I don't know why. But
it'll be different in 2019.
Last year
2018 was we didn't do so hot. 2018. It'll be different.
Yeah.
We're going back to hashtag lit this year.
It's lit this year. Not
well, don't say wet. That's bad luck.
Yeah, you gotta cut that stuff out.
That meme, though, about people talking about, people are saying it's annoying. You start using it ironically, using it all the time. It's lit, hashtag fam, and the fire thing. It's like, that's exactly what
that's
happened.
What we did. Yep. That's what we did.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Recreational weed is legal in Michigan, so it's really going to be lit this year.
Ooh.
Oh, man, that's true. I forgot about that. It's going to be a stinky place.
It's vapey and
it's going to be a mess.
Gross.
It's gonna be wild. This is your problem.
This is your event,
you did
man.
this. You figured out.
Everywhere that we went, Abe and I were driving around in a Ford Edge or whatever the SUV thing was in California last weekend, and like everywhere you go, like when you stop and you get out of the Ford Edge, it stinks like weed in LA. Everywhere.
It was like that in Las Vegas too.
It was like that before they made it.
Yeah, Vegas has been like that for a few years. Yeah, it's stinky.
Yeah.
I don't like the smell either. It's not a good smell to me.
I'm right there with you. I'm kind of the minority in that.
I've never smoked it, but I worked security at a big, huge venue in Chicago when I was in high school and college.
Yep.
And I just I grew to hate it because it just was so prevalent. I don't know. Not a fan of the skunky smell, but it doesn't seem to make anybody a bad person like alcohol, and I love alcohol.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Superpowers.
Unless you're drinking
superpowers.
LaCroix.
Remember?
LaCroix.
Yeah, I have discovered superpowers at events, and they are real. If you don't drink and you do sleep, it's way easier than if you do drink and you don't sleep. So
that's a weird epiphany to have.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works.
Look at all the podcast content you miss out on.
Yeah. It's hard to make. It's hard to record shows at those events though, because there's always somebody talking to you.
Well, but there's stories afterwards. I'm saying.
Yeah. It is kind of a goal to record more at events this year, and maybe recruit more people, like maybe you guys to like walk around and do interviews in the pits and shit. But the slip angle powered by Moto IQ might need more content this year. So.
You getting paid per plug, or what are you doing here? You gonna send them this show?
Actually, I'm not sure how the pay model works, but they do have a pay model, and they have a sales staff, which might be beneficial to our bottom line someday.
You should, you need to send them this podcast and be like, listen to this.
How do we get hooked up with Moto IQ and Mike Kojima?
I can probably do that, but I don't know. They're looking for content creators. That's the big thing. And he talked about it on the show, which we released on Friday. And then he was like, "Hey, can you take that down and we'll release it on Wednesday?"
Oh shit!
Sorry, man.
I'm about half through it.
So it's back. It's re-released right now. But no, he's a rad dude. It was hard for him to get on the mic at first, I think, and then he kind of found his groove with a microphone. But he's a rad dude, and it's a cool site. I like that site a lot. So
yeah,
a lot of dude, so many technical build thread type articles. That's like my dream, you know. So I'm going to compile some articles about my hatchback too, and hopefully some event recap stuff. We just did an event recap for Streets of Willow, and we'll do more and more there. Hopefully, but we're happy to be a part of them. We tried to do that website thing ourselves, and then literally Austin and I were writing 5 days a week. And That's really hard to do.
It was cool. But it's just, it takes such a long time for that to be like a marketable thing, you know.
The grind is rough.
Yeah, the grind to get there is rough.
Yeah, we would never be in the place that Moto IQ was, because they like started when Sport Compact Car, the greatest magazine of our generation, like stopped. And it was all the same people, and so like instantly it was a thing. Like, and Austin Cabot and Adam Jabaay are not going to be that. So
you say that, you say that,
right? But you just run Grid Life Motorsports. It's fine.
Yeah, fine. It's totally fine.
We've done enough. It's time to quit.
Me name dropping you and throwing stuff around works great for me. So
yeah, look where it's gotten us.
Yeah, it does. It works great.
No, Adam Jabaay said it was okay. I can go wherever I want now.
We do that at festival all the time.
Yeah. No, Adam said I could go here. No, it's fine.
I do it when I'm talking to companies. I do it when I'm talking to other race organizations. Just throw that out there. Grid Life, Jabaay, and this guy's legit. This guy, he knows Jabaay. He's legit.
And yet, Mr. Jabaay is over there hitting his thumb with a hammer at work, in the middle of fielding. There's been like 1,000 email and message days.
Oh man!
While I'm at the day job, I don't know. That's the mentally exhausting part. That's the thing.
I get that.
You just can't do both. But eventually, I'll only be able to do one. I think. I don't know which one it'll be.
Sometimes I feel bad for talking to you throughout the day because I know that you're way too busy to deal with my dribble.
No, it's fine. It's what I do, and I love doing it. Like, I would love to be able to just like sit at a desk and just do that stuff all day. Like, that sounds like that sounds like my best life. # best life.
Exactly.
Great.
2019's your year.
That would be super on brand for me. I don't know. Then there's also the days where I'm like, I don't mind this like day job so much. Like, I really do like my day job, like, because I create like some pretty rad projects and stuff, build some cool things on houses and buildings and stuff. But I like working with my hands. But it's like, I do daydream about like, well, what if we just like didn't do that Grid Life thing anymore? And I could just be a customer, like I could just like swipe the credit card with SCCA and go like race 3 times a year, like the average person. That sounds amazing.
That is the problem of doing the thing that you love for a profession, is that you don't get to do the thing anymore.
I know. I think it's bullshit when people say like, oh yeah, if you just like do what you pick your hobby. Like, you did that for a day job. You never work a day in your life. Like, that's such horse shit, dude. Like,
so much work. Well,
work twice as much.
I work harder on my hobby than my day job.
I don't get to do the fucking hobby anymore. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden you just work 4,000 hours a year, and like your hobby now includes watching BBC shows with a gin and tonic. Like, that's your hobby. Like, that's the only thing you do.
Watching
like,
Peppa Pig.
I used to like race cars, but like.
I can't see another race car. I don't want it.
I'm out. I'm burnt out on race cars. What we should do is we should start a demotivational podcast. Like, tell people to stop following their dreams. Like, it's horseshit. Yeah. Stop listening to Joe Rogan.
I would be the best at that.
Stop listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. It's bullshit.
Is that how you say his name?
Yeah. It's Gary V, but it's Vaynerchuk is his last name.
Yeah.
Unless I'm completely butchering it, but I think I've heard it correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
He doesn't tell people that regularly because it's a clusterfuck of syllables.
There are days when literally I'll be walking to work because I don't have a street car. Like, I don't even have a street car. I walk to work and I get in my pickup truck and I'm like, man, I'm all motivated. Like, man, it's all about outlook and it's all about optimism and, put your best face forward and like exercise before work. And like, I'm doing all these things. Right. And I'm like, man, I am killing it. And then about 10 a.m. you're just throwing tools.
What the fuck?
You're saying all the swear words in one sentence. And it's man, stuff is all a bunch of crap. Just demotivate. We gotta do that. It's gotta be the demotivational podcast.
I'll start a demotivational Instagram account too.
Yeah, there you go. Just give up. Just call it just give up.
You gonna buy that URL too, Austin?
Yeah, I dare you, Austin, to buy that URL.
Yep, justgiveup.com.
He called us.
Justgiveup.com. That's probably our website.
I guarantee it's a website already.
I don't know. I'm really glad that we are doing all these cool things, but then sometimes I'm not. But it's I I don't think there's going to be a point in my life where I look back on it and be like, man, that was stupid. I'm glad we didn't. I wish we hadn't done that. Like it's all pretty rad. I made a lot of good friends. I wouldn't know you shitbirds if we hadn't done it.
That's true. No, that's true.
I wouldn't have started a podcast. I wouldn't be doing any of this. It would be a more boring life, but it might be. That does kind of sound nice sometimes.
No, stability is overrated. You don't want that. You want your busy, crazy life.
Man, Robbie's in burn it down mode lately. What's going on? What's changed? What's changed with you, Robbie?
He's living his best life. Yeah, him alone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hashtag 350Z life.
Yeah.
How is that thing with the sweet Grid Life coilovers? By the way,
I love it. It's the greatest. It's the greatest choice I've ever made.
I almost bought a set of those coilovers like the week after Grid Life Midwest because like I need to have those. I need to have a set of those, and I don't even want them, but I need to have a set of coilovers that have a Grid Life logo.
How many of those exist?
4.
4 in the
Seriously.
whole. I have one of 4.
Yeah. Yeah,
put that shit on eBay, dude. Give yourself some KWs.
No. Yeah, no shit.
Nah, I love it.
That was a prize for winning the bracket battles at Midwest Festival.
Yeah,
that was the thing. I think there's only 4. But.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
That's crazy.
That. I knew there wasn't very many. I was trying to tell people like a rough estimate. I bet there's 5.
No, I think it was just 4. I think it was Street Mod, Track Mod, and Unlimited. I think those are the only ones that ever got built.
And these are the only ones for a 350Z.
Yeah, and Josh won Street. And then he had that chassis sitting around, and so that's what he got shocks for, I guess.
I got a sales pitch for you. People buy 350Zs, hot boys, right?
Yeah.
They like custom shit,
I know they
Supreme,
do.
whatever it is. Grid Life is a brand name now.
Yes.
It's exactly the same as Supreme. It's the same.
Yeah.
So what you could do,
you guys should sell hammers that say Grid Life on them for $10,000.
Put that shit on eBay or on Instagram or something like that. $5,000, buy it now. Fuck, dude. You can pay for
someone would buy it, dude. Yes, they would. Are you kidding me?
Turn around and buy the same coilovers.
Do it.
And then take the other 4, $3,500 and finish the car.
I got some Grid Life stickers in the basement. I'm thinking about
just like some bootleg ones.
Yeah. I got a bunch of bricks in my backyard from taking down a chimney. Maybe I should start sticking them shits on bricks and put them on eBay, man.
Yeah, dude.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the marketing guru we're looking for.
Yeah, you need to be marketing yourself more, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a lot of time for that, though.
You're a fashion guy.
Imagine how much time you'd have if you were just selling bricks on eBay for $5,000 a pop.
That sounds like a pretty easy gig. I can get into that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, hashtag branding. I am branding my race car build with Grid Life right now. I'm branding it, and it's gonna be in the Supreme colors, white and red.
Nice.
That boy.
Yeah, man. I'm taking some cues. I'm learning some lessons.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to kick you off here because you have other life things to do.
I got to go watch BBC shows and drink a gin and tonic, man.
Right.
You have to watch Peppa Pig or Blaze or something like that?
Dude, Emma was watching Blaze the other day.
Yeah.
And I was, she wanted it on, and I was solo dadding because Sarah was out with her girlfriends or whatever, and she wanted to eat dinner and watch Blaze. And I just shook my head because I was like, man, Nielsen likes Blaze. I hate Blaze. Blaze sucks.
Whatever, dude. Blaze is the best. It's way better than Peppa Pig.
How does that not sound like the reboot of Half-Baked?
And his catchphrase is "Let's Blaze."
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So Blaze
you say that so he can
truck.
Go really fast. He's Blaze.
He's a monster truck, and he's got his best friend, the driver,
AJ.
And
that's some weed
it's a
shit
terrible
right there,
show
man.
with no plot line.
Dude, it's a great show. It's way better than Peppa Pig. She just spends the whole day disobeying her parents and teaching her children bad lessons.
Adorable voice.
No, dude. Peppa Pig is bad news.
Emma's really been into Octonauts, which is pretty rad. It's like a bunch of little adorable animals who are they live in submarine land and they rescue sea creatures, and it's pretty awesome.
You're gonna kick him off?
Yeah, do you want me to kick him off? Kick him off right now. No, you got to kick him off.
Before you do that, I just want you to know that it I don't know why, but it just makes me happy when you have Emma introduce the Slip Angle shows. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, she loves the microphone too.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I do always laugh at that.
I've been thinking about before I go. I've been thinking about, we joked about, Adam and I joked about doing a construction podcast, which I still think is probably not a bad idea, but I don't have any time for it.
Sponsored by Milwaukee. Powered by Milwaukee.
There's so much.
Powered by the 18 volt. No, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I've been thinking about doing a podcast with Emma, just asking her things about little kid life, and I think I could make a real show about it. But I don't know if I'd want to release that to the public.
Yeah, the worst part is that'd be way more popular than anything else you've done.
Yeah,
probably. Like you would have to quit your job because she'd be a star.
The largest grossing person, like money wise, on YouTube last year was an 8-year-old boy. Because
is that the boy who does toy reviews?
Toy reviews, and he got a deal with Walmart for his own brand of his own toy line, and he's worth millions of dollars because of it.
And Emma watches his videos in the morning. Yep. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's like, what? Seriously?
I don't know.
He got lucky.
Yeah, he did. Or rather, his parents. Let's be real.
I bet you it's because that little kid listened to Gary V. Yeah, that's what.
That's not why, Adam. You know that. He didn't know what was going on. He was being exploited by his parents.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Having a great time.
Yep.
All right. Little kid's got FU money.
Yeah, he does actually. All right, go away and do other stuff.
Kick me off so you can talk about supercars and Adam can complain about shit. That's fine.
That's literally what he's going to do when we hang up.
That's not true. I don't have anything.
It's going to be the opener.
I don't have anything to complain about.
What's the Adams opener?
We're going to talk about two things that I feel like we are the finest of experts at: cars and music.
Oh, jeez.
Would you like to go now?
Well, I'm gonna leave now.
All right, that sounds great.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, you silly geese.
All right.
Appreciate it.
See you later.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
I love you.
Grid.life and freaking Slip Angle by Moto IQ.
Powered by my Moto IQ.
Whatever.
See ya.
See you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Oh man.
All right, Adam. Do you want to open it up? Presented by Factory Fabrication.
That's how excited you could be about that?
He did not sell that super well. I think he's a little upset because Adam said that he's not going to hug him ever.
Yeah, I have to force it on him now. He's a little
upset about it now.
I have to be that guy that just sneaks up behind him all creepy-like and just grabs him from behind.
Are you mad about that, though?
No.
I mean, let's be real.
I'm going to stalk him the entire grid life.
You're kind of into it.
Yeah.
All right, so Car and Driver posted this list. Cars most mentioned and least mentioned in hip-hop music. And I just thought it was kind of interesting.
Cars or brands?
Brands of cars. I suppose.
Perfect.
So, obviously, quick rundown of this. Most of them are luxury cars, most often mentioned.
Great.
Things like BMWs, Mercedes-Benzes, Cadillacs, a few Audis here and there. But they really, got detailed with this and, broke it down by individual makes.
Oh, really?
Or individual models within the makes and stuff like that.
Wow.
So for Audi, apparently it's been, how did they do this?
So it's the most mentioned vehicle for Audi.
Right.
Which was the TT, which I'm not really sure what happened there.
Right. So
222 mentions.
Right, of the brand Audi.
Yep.
But then somehow the TT was mentioned 6 times.
Specifically.
So I don't know where... what they define as hip hop and how many years they've gone over this.
All of it.
It doesn't really explain. It just says we come through 4 decades of data. So
it's
online database for song lyrics.
Yep.
So they did some keyword searching. That makes sense.
That makes
I'm with you.
more sense.
Yeah,
you can write a little macro to figure that out for you.
Yeah, it's really not that hard.
I'm with you.
So somehow the TT managed to be mentioned more often than the R8, which I thought was kind of odd.
Who's talking about the Audi 5000 4 times? Who's this dude?
It's a SoundCloud rapper.
That was that was his first.
Count at all.
That was his first car, and he wrote a song about it. Or it was a Powerman 5000 song, and they just thought they were talking about Audis because it was just a keyword search.
Fair enough.
I like how they used it with the rhymes, so cloudy Audi, proudly Ronda Rousey.
Wow. No, the next one's even better. Can we do the next one?
Absolutely.
So BMW. So 589 Beamer, 404 BMW, 169 Bimmer.
Right. So they take slang terms for the brands as well as the actual
that's fair.
name. Which makes sense.
Yeah, but let's see here. 7 Series 23 times, which that doesn't surprise me.
No.
Makes sense.
7 Series on the M6, which is a bizarre model.
That's a very specific...
It's a very specific car for them.
Yeah.
But then 7 for the 3 Series. Like, you're not very aspirational at 3 Series, are you?
Again, SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. They think they're living high.
It's Drifty Boys.
They have a 20-year-old 3 Series.
It's a bunch of drifty boys who also think they're rappers.
SoundCloud rappers, I'm in.
Yeah.
My favorite part is rhymes with girls' names ending in Ina.
Sabrina.
Reefer.
Tina.
Cedar. FEMA. Who's rapping about FEMA?
Someone who owns a 3 Series?
I don't
needs
know.
Bailed out by FEMA? I don't know.
His 3 Series got...
He's talking about his 3 Series being a
How
disaster.
does FEMA rhyme with Beamer?
Bema.
Or
Bema, son.
It's Bema.
Oh.
You can't pronounce the hard R, man.
Right, I forgot.
Bema.
FEMA
and my Bema.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
Bentley. Somehow the Bentiega, which is like
Already?
their newest car. Has it been out a year?
I don't know if I've even seen it.
Yeah, we did see one.
Did we see
that?
one?
Was a Bentayga we saw at that hotel where we were freaked out about the waterfall thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was too worried about the waterfall.
You're probably too worried about
I
the
didn't care about the car.
44 times that has been specifically mentioned in a rap song.
One song.
I don't know what the fuck Mulsanne rhymes with. Who's saying Mulsanne in the middle of 11 times?
I don't know, but Bentley rhymes with Oprah Winfrey, so...
Put that together for me. McKinsey. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. Buick, which at first I was surprised by this, but it doesn't surprise me anymore because there's a lot of like classic Buicks up there.
Yeah.
Cadillac, that's no one should be surprised there by Cadillac. Escalade wasn't first. I'm surprised by that. DeVille was.
Really?
Yep.
That doesn't surprise me. DeVille makes sense.
No, the Escalade makes way more sense.
There was a time period there where like every rapper had to have a fucking Escalade.
With spinners.
But before that, they had to have DeVille's.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like old school hip hop?
Yeah.
All right, I'm with you. Yep, that's fair. Chevy, which is kind of weird.
That's more of a country song.
Impala, I get that.
Yeah, but
I'm on board with
the Impalas, the Camaros. Corvette kind of makes sense.
Corvette I can kind of pass. Camaro's a little bit too mullety for...
Nova apparently got mentioned 5 times, which seems really odd as well.
Isn't that popular in the donk stuff?
No, that's more of like your Impalas or your...
No, Impala's lowriders.
They donk them too, though, man. The like 80s.
I got to skip down. Some shit's
Monte
getting weird.
Carlos, maybe?
Okay.
Some shit's getting weird in this list down here.
Yeah.
Let's hit the highlights here.
Ferrari, Rari.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's not
all the time. That's used everywhere.
That's normal.
What's your weird one? What's
Ford Fiesta was mentioned 10 times. Who's talking about Ford Fiestas?
SoundCloud rappers?
Oh, right.
You keep forgetting about an entire genre of rap.
Ford rhymes with Forbes.
No.
Not really.
That's a stretch. No matter
Ford.
how
Ford rhymes with a Ford. Like, what do you?
Oh yeah,
I can afford a Ford Fiesta.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's
see. That was probably a line.
It probably
you write
was.
that down
Betty
in your
Ford,
rhyme book.
Harrison Ford, Tom Ford.
Honda Accord. I'm sick of my Accord, so I got a Ford.
Who's talking about Civic 72 times? 72 times. Honda Passport. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Hold on a second.
It's a minivan.
No,
it's an SUV thing.
Is it one of their?
SUV thing. Okay. Who's rapping about that? Taking your kids to soccer practice? What is this?
They're talking about Rhonda again in her Honda.
Yolanda. Fonda. Jane Fonda. She's rapping about Jane Fonda.
Anaconda don't want none in that Honda.
Yeah, boy.
Holy crap.
I'm good with that one.
Yeah, dude, that's great. I like it.
That's fine. We can that.
Maybe we should have been rappers instead of podcasters.
The Cat in the Hat, and that was that.
Generic SUV reference example, Jeep Rover. That's not a thing. 27 times somebody said that.
Yeah.
Lamborghini, that's not surprising. Land Rover, that's not surprising.
I think it's funny that they split out AMG and Benz. So there's Mercedes AMG and there's Mercedes Benz.
Yeah, that's weird. Ooh, there's a ton of Mercedes, especially between the two
Mercedes was really killing it. Which doesn't
Maybach, Nissan. Who's talking about Nissan? Nissan Micra. What? Patrol? Nissan Patrol? Send me one song that says Nissan. Send me one song that says Nissan.
That's a bunch of like...
Cash... how do you say that?
I think that's
it's
a
the
rogue
Quamquat.
somewhere else.
It's the Top Gear joke.
The cash cow. The cash quai.
Okay, quash quai.
The quashqueak.
Quishquash. That's
erroneous.
We're literally just stealing a Top Gear joke now. Yeah.
Elantra. My Nissan Elantra. Nope, that's wrong. That goes under the erroneous category.
My Toyota.
Yeah. Porsche
Toyota.
only 434 times. Got to step it up, Porsche.
Volvo. I guess.
Yeah, who raps about Volvos?
Not very aspirational rappers, that's for sure.
Safe drivers, that's who.
Responsible
When I
SoundCloud
think
rappers.
I think safe drivers as well.
Yes, me too.
Those hand in hand. Absolutely. Yes. So I don't know. I thought it was just kind of
it's ridiculous.
like, why did someone decide that they needed to do this? Like, was this a good use of car and driver money?
No.
I don't know. We had a good laugh at it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Annie White decided to do it.
Yeah.
I laughed at it. That's fine.
You know what rhymes with Rolls Royce? Fuck boys, apparently.
Does it? Does that say that? It does say fuck boys, doesn't it? That's amazing.
I don't know how that works.
Whoa.
There was
Royce boys. I suppose if you say it right, wrong, I guess.
Yikes.
You just gotta,
Anyway,
put emphasis on the wrong syllable. It's fine.
The wrong syllable.
Right.
but
Her choice in my Rolls Royce because of fuck boys.
Damn, Robbie, look at you.
Well, they're all right in front of me.
You should be a SoundCloud.
I can read in front of me.
Yeah, but you're putting these together in like legitimate.
You know what this
They're
reminds
literally
me of?
right there.
You know what this reminds me of? Malibu's Most Wanted. Have you seen that movie?
It's been a long...
B-Rad.
B-Rad.
That movie is fucking sick, dude. It's on Netflix and I watched it again.
Oh,
that
really?
movie is so bad.
Really?
Oh, it's on Netflix. Please watch it.
I don't know that I've ever even seen it in its entirety.
Oh, it's so terrible.
I just remember there was B-Rad from Malibu, or Butte or whatever it was.
Malibute. Yeah, that's it.
That's what it is.
But it's got that comedian who's named Nick. I can't remember his. He was in Grandma's Boy too. Swartzen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
I don't
really,
remember him being in it.
He's in it. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like one of the crew.
Oh, okay.
And it's really bad, but it's really funny. It's got Taye Diggs in it. I mean, it's a terrible movie, but it's definitely worth watching on Netflix if it's free. 100%.
Anytime I work with a guy whose name is Brad, he's
B-Rad.
Automatically B-Rad.
That poor guy.
What happened to Jamie Kennedy, man? Just went downhill from there.
That's sad if that's your peak.
It was a pretty low hill to roll off of. I mean,
there's nowhere but up from here.
That was a hill in Iowa. Let's be real here.
Well, I think he did some stuff for MTV after that.
He's done a bunch of little things.
He's making a lot more money than we are. So
That's true.
I'm sure he's
let him have
living
that
quite comfortably.
Yep.
I bet that those Netflix Malibu's Most Wanted royalty checks are doing just fine.
He made 100th of a cent off of me a couple weeks ago. So who's the moron now?
I guarantee you that at least a small number of people will go and watch it now because you said something.
Please do. I think you should. It's if you can go into it and just be like, this is not a serious movie. It's a really stupid movie. It's way fun.
It's exactly what it should be, though. Maybe we need more of those.
It's a movie that's self-aware of the fact that it's really stupid. So that helps. Yes,
I'm fine with that.
What's his net worth?
Oh, I think his net worth is $17 million.
I was going to say 10.
You win. That's 10.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about $10 million.
I'd feel like a pretty big success.
I joke about how I won't play the lottery unless it's over $200 million because otherwise it's not worth winning. But realistically,
I would be ecstatic at like $150.
Well, right now, yeah, absolutely. So,
well, you won the lottery. You're going to sell those Grid Life Special Edition coilovers, make $5,000.
If someone seriously makes me an offer on them, I'd consider it. But I'm not really. I don't really want to.
No. You can't expect someone to come out. You have to put it out there, present it in a ridiculous way.
You probably need to hire a marketing firm.
Lay into that one of one thing.
They need to develop an advertising campaign for you.
Let me call that podcast that has the Moto IQ hookup.
I don't remember what podcast you're talking about, but it doesn't matter.
And see if they know anybody that wants them. I think they're super rad, and I don't want to get rid of them. But
no, you're going to buy the exact same ones.
Yeah, you just buy them right back. They're probably what are they? 500s, 510s?
I don't remember.
Are they blue or green?
No, they got goofy. They're goofy colors because they're Grid Life.
Dude, they're like vivid purple and green.
Millions of dollars. Put that shit online, man.
Yeah, that's some serious Hot Boy parts.
You need to advertise that on Instagram, like paid advertising.
Dude, if someone's making like a Hulk themed 350Z, those are gotta have parts.
I understand they're gotta have parts.
You just go to one of those JDM drifter dudes that pay way too much for wheels, and you just be like, dude, this is it.
They're the only ones in
game.
existence.
It's the only one. It's the only one.
It is one of one.
That's it.
Here, they are blue with like a special green and purple.
Ooh, purple. Can't see it. Yeah, those are probably 5. I think those are 510s.
Michael's intimately familiar with.
I've looked at a lot of Fortune coilovers.
Yes. Fortunes.
Pretty sure those are 510s. It's a nice coilover.
They're a very nice coilover.
All right, should we move on?
Yes, please.
Is that it?
I didn't really know where it was going to go. I just thought this has got to be something that's worth talking about, kind of. I don't know.
This music segment was brought to you by Factory Fabrication.
Here's what I want. On the group this week, I want to see your sickest car-related rhymes.
Oh, yeah.
Lay them on me. Let's do this,
Yeah, because nobody can say that they haven't listened to Creed.
Can you top Robbie's sick Rolls-Royce rhymes? I bet you can.
Probably not.
You can't.
Bring it.
If nobody beats him, you're starting a career as a SoundCloud rapper.
It can't be that hard. There's lots of them.
It can't be that hard. Absolutely not.
Just throw some beats on it.
I'll buy an album, Robbie.
Okay, I'll write one then. I'll make you buy it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would do that. I would support my friend in such a manner. Are you kidding me?
Well, I got the audio guy. He could probably make it sound decent.
I can mix
too.
it. I can record it. Unfortunately. Yeah,
We've got all the equipment.
I know.
All you need to do,
all you got to do is sit in here. I'll pipe some stuff into your headphones.
I'll just push the mic away a little farther and just in the background the whole time. I'll be your hype guy.
I need a hype.
Sure, dude. I got you.
I need the what's that? It's the air horn.
Yeah, we'll get some sound effects.
Yeah.
I'll just download an app.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's fine.
I immediately turn off any song that starts with that air horn noise. Like just
out of principle.
I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Stop using that noise.
You got to start out with the tornado siren.
I'll allow the tornado siren, but usually it's because it's related to Iowa State stuff.
Or Slipknot. They did a song with it.
Yeah, that worked really well on that one because it was about the apocalypse.
Yep.
Fair enough. Factorfabrication.com, Factor Fabrication on Instagram. We're going to be hanging out and doing some more stuff with Booney here over the next few months, so we'll have some more updates on him and his team,
WRL team,
his team of WRL drivers. So that'll be good stuff.
He gave me an open invite, so I'll be there.
I have to actually buy my own fire suit this year.
I know,
which I'm kind of bummed out about, but
I need one.
It needs to happen.
It does.
It's only money. You can't spend it when you're dead.
Exactly.
Well, I need my taxes to come through, and it's probably not going to happen anytime soon anyway.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Let's not talk about government stuff.
No.
We'll just keep rolling. We'll just keep moving.
That's the other podcast.
Those are other podcasts.
Cast,
we don't
right.
have to do that shit here. For news items, Dodge.
No.
What do you want to do?
We're going to talk
about James.
You specifically told us.
I know. I told you to not let me forget.
Talk about
I was going
Holocaust.
to move past it.
I think this is cool that he did this.
No.
Yeah.
This is the meanest thing he's ever done.
No, but I also think it's good, though, because that's the number one question people have, and he's open about it, and I think that's cool of him.
Yes. It's one of those things that I didn't...
we should probably tell them what it is before we get too far into
on
it.
KennyMotorsports.com, he has an article called Costs, and he walks through the entire cost of running a race weekend and kind of taking into account like towing, fuel, test day fee, SCCA event fee, membership fees, even just hotels, food, just rough not even estimates, but like what to expect to spend to go to a race weekend. I didn't need to know.
Knowing engineer James, these are to the penny accurate.
What's the total cost here? What are we looking at? I looked at it yesterday, but I don't remember.
On the cheap side, you could go. Oh shoot, does he have a grand total?
Yeah, I think there's a total on there.
I thought he did. I'm sorry.
I don't even know.
Scrolling through at the wrong spot.
I don't think a Spec Racer Ford is by any means the most expensive car, but I don't even think that it's necessarily the cheapest car to run either. So it's interesting.
It's kind of got broken up. It's not like a grand total. So he's got like for your gear, you got like your example cheap, and it comes to like helmet, Hans, race suit, all that stuff. Total to $1,360, and then you go to the example of the high end, and it's $4,500.
Sure,
but that's a one-time fee,
right?
And can you really place a monetary value on your safety, Robbie?
Yes, $4,500. And then if you go to the race weekend total, it kind of counts into like wear too. So like ball joints, you assume you make 30 events by the time you have to replace them. So then it's $3.33 for one set over 3 years. So a subtotal of all that would be $4,500 $487 with a race weekend total of $2,400 and $2,402.66 every time you go out.
But that's splitting up costs of the car and
and everything,
stuff like that. Yep. So
transmission rebuild, engine rebuild,
tires,
pads, everything.
Yep.
Yeah, race fees.
It's a lot of money. So, but the point is, if people have questions about why drivers need sponsored, that's why.
That's why.
Yes.
100%. We need Marlboro and all that stuff to come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just cigarette. Who cares, man? Just a little cigarette sponsorship. It's not a big deal.
Then you can have the anti-smoker, and they could be sponsored by Dare or Truth.
Vapetasia.
Yeah, whatever. Just
if some weed company can sponsor a drifter, why can't a cigarette company?
Actually, they can't though, because in Supermoto or Supercross, they covered the Ignite logo on NBC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, damn Blazarian was.
He put him on blast, and then he's like, "By the way, I get more views than you."
Yeah,
and then
it's like here's my organic reach, and it was more than their views.
Yeah,
for their
a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
He's got 15 million followers on Instagram. Of course, he's
40 million.
Oh, really?
It's insane.
Yeah. Plus, he said a lot of people lurk on his page. They don't actually.
Yeah,
follow
I remember that when he was on the Joe Rogan show.
I watched it today.
Oh, really?
Oddly enough, yep.
Yeah, he was talking about how people follow his page but can't follow it because they don't want other people to know that they're watching him.
Yep. It's weird.
Weirdos. Who cares?
Yep. I don't care.
Just live your best life. Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to kind of see what it costs for a race weekend and kind of budget accordingly, this is a really great article and things to take into account. Even if it's not exactly what you're doing, you can kind of see okay, well, I didn't consider the cost of this, and then you can kind of start budgeting accordingly. Very smart to plan out your entire season ahead of time so you're not getting hung out to dry.
I still think that it makes a compelling argument for sponsors to understand that racing or just this hobby in general is a loss, a money loss thing. I mean, it's a money loss thing for us to do this.
Yes.
Any hobby in general is.
Yeah. So just, when if somebody's asking you for $1,000 or something like that, don't be like, I think it just justifies the amount that people can ask. I guess that's my
100%.
point. So, I mean, if you want your logo or whatever on a race car or whatever it is, this is why you have to pay what you pay, is because it's extremely expensive to run the cars. So that's just the deal.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't expect a return from it. So
no, you should.
Just remember that if you're asking for the sponsorship.
Yes, absolutely.
The ask is justified, but make sure that the return is as well. So
right. Or they won't come back. All right. Anything else on that?
No.
Let's do some news.
Dodge shows new barn door tailgate.
So fucking
tailgate Mageddon. They're coming hot and fast.
It really is. Everyone's latched
on
to it.
The stupidest thing. I can't stand it.
This is not good. There's a reason why they patented 5 years ago and then didn't make it until now.
Yep.
And that's because GMC came out with theirs and they went, oh shit, we need a fancy tailgate.
We need something.
Let's put this out there. It's not. They didn't think it all the way through.
I don't know why I think it's stupid. Centered. That's one thing. It's like 2/3 and thirds. It's 60-40 maybe, or 70-30. It's somewhere in there, right? But I don't know why I think it's stupid, and I'm not even sure that it's less.
Here, let's take a step back. I don't think we even explained it. It literally opens up like a door, like
barn doors,
like a barn doors. One opens to the left, one's open to the right, and it's not in the center.
Or you can flip it
down.
No, you can still flip it.
You can still do that.
Yeah. But their multi-function tailgate does all this weird shit now.
And it costs $1,000.
But why does it need to do what does that add? Because I remember the GM tailgate. We talked about it. We decided ultimately that we thought it was dumb, but it did serve a function. I understood what they were trying to do. I think they went overboard with it. I think that the Ford one where there's just a step that pulls out. That's simple.
This also has a
it's
step.
Elegant. It makes sense. I'm good with it. But what purpose does this serve?
For Dodge to look at our fancy tailgate. That's literally all it does.
Because it doesn't make anything.
No, it makes nothing easier.
I think the only thing it would make easier is if there's something that's out of your reach that's a foot farther you can reach or whatever that number is into the bed if something has slid to the front.
Right.
That's the only thing that I can come up with, and
And to
if
me,
you put a step on it, then I can get in there and reach any of the things that are in there anyway.
You got to pay extra for the step.
that's another $250.
But what I'm saying is a regular tailgate with a step, like Ford has been doing for a decade now, is...
No, the steps make sense to me. These fancy tailgates don't make sense to me. It's just extra crap for no reason. Extra cost.
What they've figured out is
extra
that
wear points.
It's definitely extra wear points and shit to go wrong. What they figured out is that for some reason there is a group of people that exist that buy trucks as a luxury item, and they can charge people $1,000 for this tailgate, and they will buy it, or $1,300 by the time you buy the step and all that shit. But they have figured out that market exists, and I know who those people are, and they will.
People who buy the Longhorn edition.
Yeah, it's people that work in the construction industry. It's probably a lot of people that are well-to-do in construction. They look at this crazy shit that I bought. They don't use it.
No, I work with those people every day, though.
Yeah.
So do you.
No doubt. Yeah, every day.
So our friends over at Team Clearcoat, they just managed to get a 2019 Longhorn Edition 1500 Ram.
Oh, nice.
So that's a 1500.
Yeah.
It's the little guy.
Yeah.
$66,000 as equipped.
Yep.
That's the cost of a new truck across the board.
For the small guy. That's not even the big one.
I know.
That's the littlest truck that they make right now.
Yes.
$66,000. Granted, that was the top of the line. Had every package that money could buy, like an insane panoramic sunroof and all the crazy cowboy tribal that we talked about a year ago.
Does it have a TV?
I don't remember.
Mine is a TV.
They may have talked about it. I don't remember if they did or didn't. But it's just like, and then here's another $1,300 for this, because that's, for sure going to be offered on there.
Well, somebody's going to go, well, I'm not going to buy the Cowboy Tribal $66,000 truck without the tailgate, because if I don't buy it without the tailgate,
well, then somebody else will.
Right. And everybody's going to ask me, did you get the tailgate? And I'll have to say no. And I don't want to. I don't want to be like that.
Right.
I want to look when I go to my siding and plywood convention. I want to be the guy with the split tailgate thing in the
Longhorn.
In the Longhorn.
You know what makes more sense to me is to have like a little compartment in the front or right in front of your tailgate, so you that can slide forward, and then your tailgate comes down and then just kind of slides in and slides flat, kind of like your seats do in your minivan.
Oh, look at you!
So then you get that extra foot and it's wide open.
Look at you! You could
that makes way more sense than these extra hinges and shit.
Or you could just leave it down for if you have a 6-foot bed, you need to haul an 8-foot piece of plywood.
Yeah. Yeah, then you have the tailgate just flapping there.
Or you could just lower the tailgate. And just be done with it. Like we've been doing for 50 years.
Yeah, I think instead of having really weird ways of doing it, there are more useful ways to go about it. But to me, it wasn't broken, so why are we fixing it?
Yeah.
Let's focus on other, more important shit.
You know what they're going to do next? They're going to put a side gate.
Just like the whole thing flaps down?
No, there'll just be a little door that hinges open so you can get stuff from the front.
Like
like right in front of...
Yep, that's coming.
Where the step side used to be when they built step side beds, there's going to be a door there.
Flapping it in.
That makes more sense than these actually.
I wonder,
It's silly.
Wasn't it Dodge that made... like the storage compartments in the bed
they still get
sides?
That. They still have that.
They were really small, and it wasn't that good, but it was kind of nice.
The Avalanche has it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But
is it waterproof?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, it keeps water out mostly, but like dust finds a way in.
No.
Yeah.
Dust always finds a way in.
Right.
So they're not truly sealed, but they don't get wet either. It's like I have toe straps and stuff in there.
That makes sense.
Works perfect for that.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, that's all I use it for. Is one
good...
side has like my tire replacement stuff, and then the toe strap. The other side has the ball hitch and stuff like that.
That makes perfect sense.
That's exactly instead of having it just rolling around the back of the truck.
Does your dad on the pickup truck that you guys have? Does he have like the swappable balls where you don't have to pull the hitch? You just push a pin out of the ball and you can take the ball off and put a different size.
No, because I think all of our trailers have ended up being the same one. So he just leaves it in.
My dad has like a 2 and a 2 5/16 on each trailer, and so he bought like this quick change ball, but then the extra ball you have, he puts in his door pocket, and when and if you ever got in an accident, God forbid, I feel like that's going to become like a very heavy, deadly thing. But if you could put it in the bed pocket,
sure, nice. That's a better place for it.
That makes sense. So, I don't know, I just think this is dumb.
Yeah. Well, good news, Adam, because we're going to talk about more dumb trucks on this next one.
Yes, we are.
GM says the HD styling was top rated by focus groups.
I want to know what they showed the focus group. Well, because if it was a rendering, like by an artist's drawing, you know it didn't look like this. That's like telling me that the concept of the Supra versus the actual Supra. Like, yeah, they loved the Supra.
Oh, yeah.
We were all excited
about it. The original
We loved
Supra.
the concept. And that's not what you gave us.
I'm going to tell you what the problem was right now.
Yes.
They took a focus group. First of all, people who are available for a focus group are not the people that should be in a focus group.
They're also not the people buying HD.
Well, that's not true.
Trucks.
They said that they put together a focus group of people who buy all brands of HD pickup trucks. What type of people are more brand loyal than people who buy trucks. HD pickup trucks? There's not a group that's more loyal than that.
So you're saying they threw it?
I'm saying that they got a bunch of they had Chevy, Ford, Dodge guys in a room, and the Ford and Dodge guys go, yeah, build that hideous piece of shit.
That thing looks great.
That
build
looks awesome. Yes, please do it. And then they're all like, oh, okay, sounds good. And the Chevy guys were like,
2/3 of these people loved it. Let's
66,
build this.
70% of the people that came in here said this looks great. Fucked them. Dead. I want to make a statement.
You're right, though.
I want to make a statement about styling and the world that we live in now. It seems like every company wants to know what people want to buy. People are out of their minds.
We don't know what we want.
That is true.
Tell me what I want.
We don't know what we want. Sometimes I want a guy to tell me that this is the best thing you've ever seen because I can't think of that thing. Like, if I could think of that thing, then I would start that company.
That's why we pay designers.
Right. That's why people get paid to engineer and design shit, is because I don't know that I need that, and now I need it, and I'm going to go buy it.
Back in the day, that's how they did it.
Back in the day, Ferrari made you a car. If you didn't like it, they didn't care.
Go buy a shitty Lambo.
No, you did like it, whether you liked it or not.
You know what color car you get? Black.
Red. It's a Ferrari.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about Ford, because you can have any color you want as long as it's black.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's all you get.
I thought it was. I didn't realize this.
What in the...
Oh, no.
That's
Robbie.
That's the photos from Chicago. It's way worse in the photos.
Yeah,
it's
is
so bad.
The fender, the front fender, like that 3/4 front shot, it's so bad.
That's what I wanted to
GM,
that body line is terrible.
It's screwed up on the 1500 one too, but it's screwed up in a different way.
Yeah, so the fender comes up towards the front like a normal fender to the headlight, and then there's like this extra piece of plastic that goes around the headlight and mates up with the fender. So that little piece in the front that goes under the headlight is just like an extra little bullshit piece that gets bolted in there.
That's going to go flying when you hit something.
It looks like somebody beat the side of the fender with a pipe and put a crease in it. That's exactly what... Can you pull up the 2019 or 2020 1500 front fender also? Because it's so screwed up. I don't know, like... If anybody from GM is listening, continuity in design. Like, if you make a line, make it a line. It doesn't need to zigzag and go down and then come back up and do all this weird shit. I don't understand why people go to school for years and they buy those stupid architect glasses and they wear turtlenecks and they do all this. Why they make these cars that look so stupid? Zoom into the front fender. It's so jacked up. The line comes off the light like the other one does, and then look, it goes to the mirror, and then it turns down.
Yep, it does.
Like feet.
Like quickly.
It just disappears. Make a line. It drives me insane. I don't know what they do when they design cars. It's like... It must be designed by a committee because it's so screwed up.
Somebody was drawing that.
Oh my gosh.
They were drawing the body line, and then somebody walked by them and like bumped them. I
gotta turn this in.
This was I gotta turn this in like 10 minutes. Shit. I was too busy playing Candy Crush, and I'm up against my deadline.
I didn't realize it. This is also the same. So like where the headlight meets the fender, it's also two pieces. So the fender comes up to about the corner of the headlight and then goes straight line. And then the whole piece under the headlight and then down by the wheel, that's a whole separate piece. Not just one piece.
I honestly, I just don't understand this at all. No. I don't understand how a company that has like tens of thousands of people working for them can put something out that looks like that and go, yeah, that should be fine.
Let's put our name on that.
This is what happens.
This is my legacy.
This is what happens when you start your own college and then only hire from that college.
Fair enough.
Remember when everyone was outraged about the Bengal butt on BMWs?
I love that car.
Like, it's come around.
I love that car.
It's
I
not
loved
that
it
bad.
when it was new.
But see, I feel like more and more people are getting on board with that car, and I feel like it's this fault.
What car am I talking about? This one.
What about that?
I got it.
2007.
Yeah.
7 Series.
7 Series
Or
BMW.
6 Series.
It's a 7 Series.
The back,
Yep.
the rear view of it. A lot of people really, really, really hated that rear end.
As they should.
I'm not totally. I don't know how I feel
Now,
about
see, I'm okay with this because
I'm in the middle.
if you look at least if you look at the lines on the car, the line starts at the front of the car,
Yep,
it goes all the way to the back of the car, and then it ties into the bumper. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
That part works.
And there's an accent line underneath it.
Taillights design left something to be desired.
But for me, it creates kind of like a ducktail without being a ducktail.
Yeah.
That's why I'm okay with it design-wise.
But people were outraged by this when it came out.
They should be outraged by the new 7
People are
Series.
softening on this now. And that's because all the shit we're making now is so bad that what used to be bad doesn't seem so bad anymore. And we're just marginalizing everything out. It's just terrible.
2019 BMW 7 Series. It is the worst looking vehicle.
Did you see how big the kidneys are in the front?
What the hell? And then they made...
Is that the one?
Yes. And then they made the 8 Series that now looks like the updated 7 Series.
Right.
It's so screwed up. I just don't understand... What in the hell is it looks like a beaver smiling. That's what it looked. It's got a smiley face.
Yeah.
And it's got this like
Look at
nose
those
thing.
huge kidneys.
Who gets done with this shit and goes, yes, that's what I was thinking that I wanted. And then the bunch of other people with executive director goes,
they were like, you know what they were like? Well, Lexus, they have these huge grills. They doubled sales last year. Let's do this.
It's the only successful sedan.
Yeah.
We need to follow them.
I won't make you find it, but then like the 2019 8 Series Grand Coupe or whatever it's called, it looks great.
Yeah.
Because there's a stupid grill on the front of it. So it's like, are you trying to sell the 8 Series by making the 7 Series look dumb?
They might be.
Yes, they have to be.
Oh, it's so bizarre.
They probably are.
It's like on a whole other spectrum of good.
That's the coupe.
That's a good looking car.
It's a great
There's
looking
a 4-door version of that.
Okay, hold on.
No, you don't have to.
Don't worry about it.
And it looks fantastic.
It's a great looking car.
But
According to the internet, the 4-door doesn't exist.
Oh, it doesn't?
I can't find it.
Yeah.
It's literally nothing but 2 doors. So we're sticking
anyway,
with it.
that is a current 8 Series, and
If they'd have taken that front end and put it on the 7 Series,
right.
Nobody would have been.
Maybe I was wrong.
Totally different
maybe
car.
there never was a 4-door version of it, but I do know that. Or maybe, no, I'm probably thinking of the 6 Series. There's too many damn cars. That's part of the problem. Anyway, my point is, the front of that car is new, and it looks great.
It does look
There's
great.
nothing wrong with the front end of that car.
The designer that did this got it right. The designers that did the 7
There's
Series
no
got
way
it.
that's the same designer.
Not
it
even
can't
a little
be.
bit.
But nothing's designed by a person anymore. It's designed by a committee. So that got through fine. The 7 Series somehow got super jacked when it was going through design review.
Zoom and enhance. That's what happened with it.
What if we just made the grill bigger?
It'll
fool people. Fool people.
Lexus has doubled sales.
Have you seen the Avalon? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. It's all grill.
Well, the new 2500 and 3500 HD, that they are definitely all grill. That is, it's a lot of grill going on in the front. It's the war of the grills. I don't know when this is going to stop.
Squinting from the side too.
You know what it is? You know what I think it is? It's pent up
Anger?
need to use a grill, or maybe it's resistance to change. Because pretty soon cars won't have grills
Won't
anymore.
have grills at all.
Right. So they're getting it out of their system.
Well, no, they're preparing us for it.
Oh, if the whole front
Because
end
if
is a
they-
grill,
if-
then it's no longer a grill. Is that what you're saying?
No, what it is like if we just went from the grills we used to have that we liked to
Yes.
no grills at all, we would have been mad about it.
But now we won't miss them.
But now we're gonna be like, oh, thank
fixed it.
God.
Thank God. It was so much better.
So much better.
So either they're trying to get,
they're playing the long game here.
either they're taking risks in grill design because they know that that's going away. That's not going to be an option anymore, and they're exploring some
Yeah, some options.
unmined depths of designing grills, or They're preparing us for when we have no grills by giving us hideous front ends of cars.
Right, and then we won't be so mad about not having grills.
You know what? It all makes sense now. It's totally fine. I'm okay with it.
They're playing chess and we're over here playing checkers.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It makes sense to me now. All right, next one here. You can buy a bag run over by a Mercedes AMG GTR.
That's an amazing car.
For sale.
So self-proclaimed fashion expert over here.
Absolutely. Not as much as probably Jabaay, but yeah.
Does this trigger your fancy?
You know
Are
what?
you into this?
You know what annoys me about this?
The cost.
Actually, I was shocked at how.
No, that's the problem. Is that it kind of makes sense, and
it's not expensive enough to be stupid.
No, it kind of
it needs to be more expensive.
It kind of It kind of works, unfortunately, and it really disappoints me because fundamentally I hate it.
Let's quick explain what they're doing here. So they take a special kind of cloth that's apparently very imprintable.
Yep.
And they stick it right in front of the rear tire of a Mercedes AMG GTR and then launch the car on its launch control.
Yes.
So that it does a burnout basically across this handbag, thereby imprinting the tire tread pattern on the handbag as it rolls across it.
And no two tread patterns are alike because it's a separate burnout for every handbag.
Right. And I hate to say it, but it's kind of cool.
It's art.
There's a lot of things I really want to hate about this, and I do not.
I
really want to hate.
What was the price?
So I'm looking at the Speed Week bag, which is kind of like they're all-purpose. Like if you're going to go away for a weekend. No, it's not the real big one.
So you got the small one, which is like the handbag. Wasn't that like $450?
Well, so the Speed Week bag is 580 pounds. Okay. Or no, sorry, euros. So that's about the same in dollars. It's pretty close to the same. So, but for a leather handmade bag that was made in Germany,
that's
and
got like a really cool story to it. It's got kind of a catch.
It's like that's not that much money.
It's a car guy themed thing. That's not
like if you had an AMG and you had this luggage, I'd be like, I don't like
when we were looking at $15,000 Lamborghini suitcases.
Yep, those are carbon fiber though.
Yeah, but this makes sense all of a sudden.
But you have to get the only we're not going to walk around with handbags. We have to get the duffel bag because we're going to put our stuff in it.
Right.
Well, you could get the Speed Week bag. This is like a little mini duffel bag.
Yeah, that's what I want.
It'd be like a weekend carry on.
Yeah, that's what I need to carry on. What was that?
Yeah, that was what he was talking. That's $580.
That's $580.
Oh, I thought that one was $1,400.
No, I think. Hold on a second. Let's see here.
I thought there was one that was like $1,400.
I'm not seeing.
Even that's not an outrageous price.
Not for
the
not
Weekender.
For a designer bag.
The Weekender, the duffel bag that almost looks a little bit too big to be a carry-on is 680.
Oh, well, what am I doing wrong? I totally misread that then.
That's not.
misremembered.
I missed a lot of money. Let's not be.
No,
Michael's gonna buy one of these.
No,
he's not. We're gonna roll out to the SCCA convention next year. And he's going to throw that up on the carry-on.
If they had a wheelie bag, then he would.
No. My thing is, if I was going to spend...
It's a Mercedes AMG thing, though.
If I was going to spend $580 or $600 on a bag or whatever, it's like the last one I want to buy for 20 years. Like, that's it.
It's got to be leather.
Well, this is leather.
Yeah, but no, it's like a cloth, though.
Well, the cloth is cloth, but the rest of that stuff's leather.
Yeah, but
the
that's
whole
not,
outside
that's
of
not the
it's
part that's going to wear out.
I don't know how.
I wonder how hard it is to get your hands on this cloth material.
Not
because we know lots of people that like to do burnouts.
We're making bootleg 10/10 bags now.
If you do a big enough burnout, it doesn't matter what cloth it is; it'll imprint.
That's fair. We'll just
do it out of canvas.
We'll just get like 20 yards of it at a time.
Yeah.
And
Hobby Lobby sells canvas for like
just
$1.
Tape it down to the track, and Michael can just do tandems across it a couple of times, and then we'll just cut it up into bags.
Yeah.
And sell that shit.
I can sew.
Sure.
We'll get it. We'll have somebody who we know that does like water jetting or something. Like make
some logos.
Make us like
tags.
No, like a metal brand that we can heat up, and then we can our 10/10 logo into it.
Robbie's doing stuff. Hold on. Time out. He says
on our drop shipping website they sell totes.
Get the fuck out of here!
Like those little like book bags things, those little totes, like like kind of like what they have at the grocery store. You can get those. We could get the logo on it, take it to the
then do burnouts over it,
and it's canvas, so it's just gonna soak it right up. Then we can sell them for like $100.
You're not wrong.
Oh my goodness!
We need to figure out how to take things that cost $5 and sell them for like $500.
Yes,
that's exactly what they're.
So
doing.
I'm gonna put a 10/10 logo on it. I'm going to put a Grid Life logo on it. We're going to sell it for like $1,000.
Yeah.
They're all individual and unique?
No two bags are the same.
Yeah.
I'll even sign it.
There you go. That's worth something.
And I'll hug you if you buy.
That's probably not worth as much.
Well, I don't know.
Or if you pay, I won't hug you, but that's extra.
I don't think people can pay you not to hug them. I think that's extortion. Technically.
Nah, details. It's all part of the game.
Hey, what I do with my money is none of your business.
You can pay people.
We'll do it in Nevada.
It's fine. Yeah. Next year. So yeah, I don't know if that's your thing. You got to look up what's this thing called? Hold on a second. It is called there's a collection name. Destroy versus Beauty Burnout Collection. It's
which is
terrible
a pretty name. I kind of like it.
It's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast thing.
I like Burnout Collection.
So what you're saying is that you like a high fashion leather handbag.
I'm not.
Each one of them is unique.
I'm not opposed to this.
You've changed, man.
Of the like automotive art things that I have seen, this is not the worst.
Spending $500 or $600 or $700 on a bag that's going to be like the last bag that you buy.
But do you think this can be that bag?
I don't think so. That's my hang up a little bit. I don't think it's the last bag that you buy. It's totally reason. Like if somebody goes, "Oh my God, why would you buy a Louis Vuitton luggage?" I understand that, but like to spend $700 on a bag is in fucking crazy land. Again, I understand, but if it's the last one you buy and you travel all the time,
it makes sense.
It makes sense.
It's just like buying. It's just like me buying nice tools that I use every day, because as long as I don't lose it, it's probably going to be a 10-year item, and it costs me twice as much, but it will last me way, way longer. It makes sense.
Or like this belt.
I was going to say
or
the belt.
Robbie's stupid belt and stupid
the belt
wallet.
or the wallet. Yep.
My 100-year warranty.
Yes, I am in this phase of my life of buying like the last thing I'm going to buy.
This is the last black belt I will ever buy.
You're awfully young for that, don't you think?
Nope.
I want to see how long these lifetime warranties are good for.
My lifetime.
My lifetime, not their lifetime.
The question is, are you playing the long game or the short game?
I think I'm playing the long game. I think I'm playing the long game.
Okay.
I don't.
It's good to be positive about it.
I don't know.
It's good to be positive. I like it.
I'm almost 30. I don't have kids. I'm not married. I'm spending money on shit. It's just whatever. It's not. I don't know, man. Like, don't judge me.
You gotta take care of yourself.
People spend stupid money on stupid shit.
Watches, drift cars.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Since Jabaay called me out,
I support this.
I'm just living my best life, and I don't really need anybody's judgment for it. That's all I'm saying.
Don't at him.
Don't at me
or
at all.
Or do.
I'll get so many ats next week. It's gonna
just
suck.
do it, please.
Don't at me either.
Have you guys seen the TV commercial for Payless shoes, where they're at like Fashion Week?
Payless, or it was
It's Payless shoes.
Yeah, but they called it something else.
But they're like Fashion Week, like selling. They're like, how much would you pay for this shoe? And they're like, oh, that's a $400 shoe. Like, no, that's a $12 shoe at Payless.
Yep.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, people don't realize that you could tell them whatever they want to hear to sell whatever you want.
The quality is fantastic. I just cannot believe that you could put a shoe together
Look
like
at the
this for $600. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it was like, yeah, it's Palessi. Palessi or something like that. But it was just Payless shoes that they had rebranded.
Yep.
People are dumb.
Yep.
So anyway, this show's gone a little long.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else?
You can only at me if you're making wild offers on my coilovers that
there you go.
I don't
That's
really
fair.
want to sell. So you need to convince me to sell them.
Not with that attitude.
I would say
buy them from me out of spite.
I would
How
say
about
if
that?
you're in Austin, Texas, hit me up this weekend. But I'll have already left by the time most of you guys listen to this.
Coda, baby.
Sorry.
Hell yeah.
Hang out with Dustin. He's going to do some
next
stuff.
week we'll talk about Coda.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited about it.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.